Oh, this is good. We should go. Okay. All right. Okay. It is all right. Okay. So my hands are.
Check one. There we are.
Welcome to the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo. We are so excited to have all of you here. With the weather, we do have a few exhibitors that are still making their way, but they will be here shortly, and we have all kinds of fun to take place. I want to introduce to you our MC of the entire expo, Mark Harvard, and he has been our MC every year. We're so thankful for him, a friend of Birmingham Christian Family for many years in his radio role and now as associate pastor at Clear Branch Methodist Church. So we welcome you.
Hey, 5th year, man, and they keep letting me back in. I can't believe it. So, I am so glad to see everybody here today. This is going to be a great day, a great inside event. Let's hear it for the new sprinkler system at the Hoover Met because it's doing really well. Before we get started, we've got a lot of special guests today, and the first one is a very important one. We have the Mayor of Hoover, Mayor Frank Cayo, with some opening remarks for us.
Good morning, good morning. It's such a pleasure to be back for the 5th year here now, and what a great event for our families, focusing on what the needs of our families are. All of these resources that will be here today, the businesses that have stepped up, and they're really focusing on the spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being of families. And everybody certainly has opportunities to have those types of things in their lives addressed. So I'm grateful to Laurie and all of the folks that are here this morning. I'm grateful that we have it here in the city of Hoover. We are definitely a city that focuses on the quality of life for everyone. We're a city that is very diverse. We're proud of that. We bring everyone from all over the world. They live right here in Hoover, Alabama, and they thrive every day, and we're grateful for that. I hope everyone has a wonderful time. You've got some incredible celebrities that are going to be coming up in just a minute with Janice Rogers and JT. I mean, I've never been on the stage with this kind of celebrity, though. So I'm excited. So welcome to Hoover today, and I hope y'all have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mr. Mayor. All right, so we couldn't do this without our sponsors, and we'll list those later on in just a few minutes, but our title sponsor this year is Benton Nissan, and we've got Ken Banks here to give us a few words.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. So I'm so glad I'm here to support this great family event. So it's a reason why we decided to be the title sponsor, because we want to support support family and support community and support church. So we really appreciate everything everyone does for us. And if we can ever do anything for you, then please don't hesitate to come by. Even if you want to buy a car, it doesn't matter if you want to buy a car or anything. If you just need some advice or some good car people to talk to, then we're here to help.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, everybody from Benton Nissan. My wife has an Altima and loves it. So go by and check out their selection there. We do have other sponsors here as well. Go by their booths and check them out. There's, let me see, there's Children's of Alabama, Avadian Credit Union, the Jimmy Hill Mission, Sweet Grown Alabama, who is sponsoring the very stage that I am standing on. We've also got Alabama Credit Union, Jefferson Credit Union, Renewal by Anderson, Strickland Counseling, Verizon, and Vulcan Termite and Pest Control. So go by their booths, check out, see how they can help your life, your family work in a more efficient, more effective way. And let's get things started, right? Because I'm not making any food up here. Nobody wants that. Not me, not the chefs, not you. Nobody that's going to want to eat it later. So our first chef is Katrina Adams from In the Kitchen with Kay Marie. She's a regular contributor to Birmingham Christian Family Magazine, and she's going to be up here with our celebrity hosts for the stage, JT from WERC and from WBRC Fox 6, Janice Rogers. Let's give all those people a hand as they come on up.
Woohoo! Good morning.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Alabama.
How you doing? Everybody good? All right, good to see you.
I know everybody's still waking up. That's okay.
I don't know about Janice, but I'm here for the free food, so I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're really happy to be here with you, and I know you're going to enjoy our chefs today. Our first one, as mentioned, is Katrina Adams, and she is a food blogger. She goes by K. Marie on her food blog. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think she has a mic on. Is your mic?
I do.
Okay. Good morning to you.
It is on. They can't. I don't think they can hear me well though.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. All right. So we just wanted to let her tell you a little bit about who she is, what she does before she starts with her recipe.
Hi. Good morning. My name is Katrina Adams, and I am an award-winning food blogger, cookbook author, and party planner. On my website, I share recipes and entertaining ideas. And what inspired me to start my blog is my mom is one of 16.
16.
8 boys. Yeah, 8 boys and 8 girls. But she's in her 60s and she still loves to cook. And she always cooked with love and passion growing up, and it really inspired me. So that's one thing that inspired me to start my blog. And then also I tell people it's just in me, naturally in me. And even one of my aunts said, "Oh my God, girl, it's just in you." One of my mom's sisters, because my dad is one of 13, and my name comes from 2 of my aunts on my dad's side that are the primary cooks in the family out of the 13 kids. So that's where Katrina Marie comes from, the inspiration for my website, kmariekitchen.com. So it's just in me, and I teach classes at different libraries in Jefferson, Shelby County. So I just love cooking.
It's just dinner.
I bet the Thanksgiving dinner table is pretty good at your place. Does everybody pitch in when you guys get together?
Yes. Yeah. So even the men love to cook. Yeah. My uncle said he makes the comeback greens. Once you taste any of his greens, collards, turnips, you're going to come back for
You're going to
more.
come back.
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, so she's going to show us her sweet potato dumplings.
Yeah.
And
Let's see if
they
can
look
stick a butter
fantastic,
there.
don't they? Here, let me.
Is this the base of the recipe?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Sweet potato.
All right, Katrina, go ahead.
If you want to hold this, it's a little bit better now. Oh wait,
This
here
is,
you come.
it sounds like this is working now. Can you guys, yeah, you can hear me.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I have some sweet potato dumplings already done, so you will be able to sample. But this recipe I thought was perfect for fall because it's always, are you team sweet on social media? It's always, are you sweet potato or pumpkin spice? I'm a sweet potato girl. But this recipe is so easy. Use crescent rolls, and I normally use sweet potato patties that you can get in the freezer section, but I am an ambassador for Sweet Grown Alabama, and they're the sponsor for the stage, or one of the sponsors. But I can say, with me loving to cook, fresh ingredients really make a difference. Like, you taste fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries, it's going to really make you want to grow a whole garden in your backyard. So I do have some fresh sweet potatoes today from Hazel Rig in Cleveland, Alabama. And what made me want to show you this way is people always ask, can you use the fresh sweet potatoes if you can't find the sweet potato patties? And you can. So you have the wide end, and normally you would put your patty at this end, but since I'm using the fresh sweet potatoes, I'm just going to do a little spoonful, and you just take it and roll it, and that's it. And put it in your 9x13 baking dish, and then you melt a stick of butter, a half a cup of sugar, a little vanilla, a cup of water, and sprinkle your cinnamon and sugar on top. And that's it. And you bake it for about 30, 45 minutes, depending on your oven. And it's really good with ice cream, You can add nuts, a little caramel sauce, but that is the recipe. Do we have any questions so far? If you use the fresh, I do. I actually,
Yeah, sure. Do you add any ingredients to your sweet potato?
when you're using the fresh,
Right.
you can, and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to, so make sure you follow me on social media. But I said I was going to add a little cream cheese to the mixture.
Ooh, I bet that'd be good.
And and see how that works. But yeah, you can add, just almost like you're making a sweet potato pie. You can add, but you
We
don't
gonna
want to
make
add
those.
too much because
That's all out?
you have I know you can't see, but it is a lot of juice and flavor. You know, with the once you melt your butter and everything, that's a lot of your flavor. So you won't have to add a lot to the fresh sweet potato.
And all he wanted to say was, we're going to make those.
Okay, good.
Anybody else?
You can use biscuits too. You can use the canned biscuits. My website is kmariekitchen.com.
That'd be lame.
Okay, great.
My website is kmariekitchen.com.
Okay, any Facebook?
Yes,
stuff?
I'm on social media, Instagram, YouTube. It's all K Marie Kitchen. TikTok.
All right, I'm going to check you out. Hey.
All right.
Do we have
Anybody
any
else with a
other
question?
questions? My mic.
So you've made some already, right? You've got
Yes.
some made?
Yes, I do have some made.
Do you want to sample? Do you want to hand out some samples?
Yes.
Y'all want to try some of what she's made? She's made some, and if you'd like to come up, she'll scoop you out a little bit,
Some of my
and you can
cookbooks.
try them
I
out.
have 2 cookbooks.
Help yourself. Come on up.
You can come sample. You can purchase my cookbooks. Ask me questions.
Don't be bashful.
Okay, while everybody is coming up and getting those samples, I've got a few announcements to throw out there for you.
Okay.
Don't forget
Thank you.
to go by and get your birthday bingo card. When you arrive, go out, if you missed it, go by the front desk and grab it. You can go by every booth, and you can register for some really cool prizes. Go by every exhibitor, get a special stamp at every different booth. Place your stamp card in the birthday bingo box located by the welcome desk, and you'll be entered to win some great prizes, including a $100 Walmart gift card from Way FM, a $50 Publix gift card from Alabama Credit Union, boxes of Bud's Best cookies are up for grabs, and a whole lot more. You can start filling that card because we're going to start drawing winners right here at 11:30. So go by and do that right here at the MC table. But right now you hear on the other end of the stretch, the giant dancing cows from Chick-fil-A are out here, and they are dancing to the tunes of KDB, Mr. Kevin Derryberry, and he is performing. Thanks for joining us here for the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo.
Dumplings, yes, sweet potato dumplings. And the recipe is on my website, kmariekitchen.com. You can use the fresh sweet potatoes. You want this one? $10 one? I don't have any change. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Just grab you a fork. I do. Uh-huh.
So what's that sauce on there?
Once you melt the butter in your water and all of the sugar, that's where the juice comes from. Make sure you tell your family to follow me. Thank you. do I do catering? Some.
That's incredible.
Yes. You want to use a card? Okay.
What did she make? Oh, yeah. That looks like good comfort food. Oh, yeah.
We know what we make it for Thanksgiving.
It is a little fun twist on the traditional sweet potato pie. I wonder if this is going to let me.
Hey gang, don't forget those animals are still out front from 2x2 animal rescue. And when you entered, you saw them when you entered. They were the cute dog, the cute cat, the ones that my wife has told me I'm not allowed to take home myself because we have too many animals. Go by, stop by, check on adopting them. Also, stop by the Alabama Wildlife Center's booth, also near the welcome table, to say hello to some feathered friends. We've got birds, y'all. And also don't forget to complete those cards for the birthday bingo. We're gonna start giving away stuff at 11:30 right here. And I've got other freebies as well. I've got beach balls and koozies and stuff to throw out. It's gonna be craziness at 11:30. Come on by.
But my son's coaching at Jack State. Now he's coaching the tight ends there.
Yeah.
So he loves it. He loves it.
Well, I love Eli. He's
Great.
very close over the years. So, Bubba there too?
How about that?
Hey, if you got kids here today, don't forget to go by our kids area in the very back on the left. That's where the giant inflatables are. Burn off some of that energy on a very rainy Saturday morning. It's good for everybody's sanity, right?
I don't know what's going on with
Check.
So he'd be on the website.
Felt like he was doing it by himself anyway.
You don't want to try.
Welcome once again to the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo. Our next chef will be at the cooking stage in about 9 minutes. So come on by, but in the meantime, stop by one of our 65 plus sponsors. Their booths are out and they are giving away free stuff. For example, Lacey Grau with Edward Jones is handing out fall marigold seed packets and has drawings for 4 different gift baskets. Stillwater Counseling Center's raffling off a Bose SoundLink Resolve Series 2 portable Bluetooth speaker. It's a wireless water-resistant speaker with 360-degree sound. It's over $200 value, and it can leave with you. Go by their booth and register for that thing right now. Our next chef coming up in about 8 minutes.
This is JT of WBRC.
I'm Chris Polito. Hold tight, man. Hold tight.
They've never been there yet. I said, you got it.
Come on in.
Yeah. He's an amazing chef.
And it's Cayo, Coco. Cayo.
And
Always
it's actually a beach in Cuba. I
Okay.
had to ask that question, like, why Cayo Coco?
Okay, yeah.
And this is John Shaft. Josh, this is Janice and JT.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hello. Nice to see you too.
Nice to see you.
He's an amazing chef. I mean, amazing bartender. Yeah, so he's the GM of Cayo Coco.
Okay.
And Josh is kind of an amazing bartender. Like, you can say, hey, I'm craving something like not very sweet. He'll make you the most delicious rum drink or whatever you want in it. It's like,
We brought the table.
yeah, let's do it. Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, you saw how he did it. I was about yours on here. Hello. That's lovely. Lovely. So are you with?
I'm here through Children of Alabama.
Okay.
What do you do at Children's?
I work in the ER as a volunteer.
Oh, wow. Are you a nurse?
No, I'm a freshman in college right now.
Oh, where do you go to school? Okay, good for you.
So you're a volunteer?
Oh, cool.
Are you med school?
I'm planning to go to med school.
Okay. So what kind of medicine do you want to do?
I'm interested in anesthesiology, but I have a lot of time.
Yeah. Just getting started with it. Well, you're a pretty good place to learn, I guess, right?
Okay, gang, we are moments away from our next presentation on the Sweet Grown Alabama cooking stage. So if you would like to be a part of that, make your way over to the cooking stage at this time. Also, in the meantime, we've got some special folks walking around here. We've got Miss Senior World 50, Shannon Layton. We also have Miss Alabama World 60, Kathy Pommel, and Pauline Vaughn Murphy, Miss Alabama World 70. All three live in Birmingham. Go by, say hi. They'll be the ones with the sashes on. So go say hi to them. We'll be ready to cook in just a couple of minutes. Make your way over to the cooking stage right now.
I feel like you're that guy in the bar just playing in the corner. Noise.
Anyway, here's one more.
Exactly. Closing time. Let's go ahead.
Walk around someone's top. We'll start recruiting people for the cooking session.
Free pie outside. Free margaritas might do it.
So are those chips? Those plantains?
I think it's plantain.
Plantains? Clearly I'm choosing. I'm a very discerning eater.
What's classes are you taking? Which professor do you have?
Hey, Elaine, we'll let you give me a thumbs up on when we're ready to go.
Which chemistry class?
When they're ready,
Professor do you have?
All right, bro.
All right, everybody, it's time for our next cooking demonstration over here at the Sweet Grown Alabama cooking stage. My good friend Miss Janice is headed up to the stage, and
Hello.
she's got some very special guests from Cayo, Coco. Take it away, Janice.
That's right. Hey, everybody. So, folks who may, if you can hear me, if you want to come over and see the cooking demonstration, you also get to sample some of the food that the chefs are making today. So, we'd love for you to walk on over and spend some time with us over here at the cooking stage. As mentioned, this is Chris Ippolito from Cayo Coco. Good morning.
Good morning. How
All
are
right.
you?
So, tell people about Cayo Coco. It's really a Caribbean-based type of restaurant, right?
Yes, ma'am. We've been open 5 years.
This is in Birmingham.
Yes, ma'am. We are on First Avenue and Founders Station.
Just island-inspired food, right? All right.
So it's a rum bar and restaurant.
Yeah.
So a lot of the rums are produced and made in Caribbean countries. So I like to use that to inspire where I pull cuisine from, and then I put my own, unique creative spin on it.
He's like a scientist. So we don't have any of the island cocktails today, but we've got some of the punch. Is that what it is?
Oh, we're making an island.
Oh, we are making the island cocktails today. I did not know.
Yeah.
All right, you're in for a treat. Anyway, all right, how do you want to get started? And we'll let you walk through and show folks. First, what's the name of the dish you're making today?
So today we're making our Gulf shrimp ceviche.
And so ceviche means it's cooked with citrus.
Yes,
So it's not
ma'am.
really
So
cooked. The citrus cooks it,
In
right?
this case, it's shrimp, and we cure it in lime juice, and that cooks the shrimp.
All right, he's going to walk you through it.
All right. So the shrimp, we get whole Gulf shrimp. We clean them, devein them, and then we cut them into nice bite-sized pieces, and then we put them in a bowl and cover them with lime juice for 24 hours. So I did that last night for us today. And so that's the benefit of the restaurant, is we have all that prep time where we do all this kind of stuff, and then, for service we just put it together and make sure it's seasoned perfectly before we serve it out to the guest. So I have my lime cured shrimp. And so the acidity in the lime juice just cooks the shrimp. There's no heat, it's just the lime juice kind of turning it from uncooked product to a cooked product. And then I'm adding some julienne red onions and local peppers. You can use whatever peppers you want or whatever onions you want. We work closely with a couple farmers, and it's peak pepper season right now. So this is a combination of poblanos and jalapenos and some cornitos, and then just red onion. And then I have a mixture of coconut milk and lime juice. And then I have some really good sea salt. And then we just dress it all together. And then we serve it up.
So Chris, if people wanted to make this at home, would they basically do it like you're doing right there?
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to make this at home, and like we have a grouper ceviche on the menu as well. It's a little bit more spicy and shrimp's a little bit more approachable, so I decided to do this one today. But same thing, you can do shrimp, scallops, any fish, and you just bite-sized, cut it into bite-sized pieces, and then just cure it in lime juice overnight or for at least 8 hours, and then you can really add whatever to. Like, that's what I like about it. Like, the grouper one has cantaloupe and pickled peppers and peanuts, and I kind of like use that ceviche as like my like a little bit like more creative outlet, and then this one's more like a very like entry-level approachable ceviche versus the other one I kind of like to make a little bit more like thoughtful and seasonal. And
so what does Cayo Coco mean?
So Cayo Coco itself is an island off of Cuba in the Caribbean, and you know, that's kind of what we want to bring to Birmingham, is when you're there you don't feel like you're in Birmingham. You're somewhere special, you're somewhere tropical, you're eating very unique cuisine, and the drinks are just out of this world and extremely beautiful, and the plates kind of match the drinks aesthetic-wise, and it just makes you feel like you're not in Birmingham and you're kind of like escape to a little tropical vacation.
That sounds great. All right, so you want to tell us about, you finished with the dish there, do you want to tell us about the drink?
I'd love to. Am I mic'd up? Can we hear me? Yeah. So at Cayo Coco, we're in the middle of an agrarian area. So there's so many farmers. It's almost if Birmingham was a tropical island. That's us. Our cocktails and all of kind of tropical cocktails originated from the 1930s. Whether you were going to an affluent hotel in Cuba and getting like a Hotel Nacional Especial, which is pineapple and apricot and fresh lime, or if you're going to middle of California and getting some exotic tiki drink. What I've built today is a kind of paradise punch. It's hibiscus tea base. So with the hibiscus tea, Jamaican flowers, you get this like bright acidity, fresh lime, passion fruit, and cara oranges, which give you this like vibrant, like beautiful pink color. These are friendly for all, and just kind of like a delicious drink to enjoy today at 11 a.m. So.
All right, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Yep, run over here to you. Well, that's why we're glad you're here.
Can you use, or do you need to use fresh lime juice for your recipe there, or can you use the lime juice in the bottle?
That's a good question. So you can use either, but fresh is definitely recommended and preferred. But if you're in a time crunch and you just got the little squeeze lime, that's going to do the same process of curing the seafood. But at the restaurant, we get limes by the case and just juice them. So I've got to go with the fresh, you know what I'm saying?
That's good, though, that you could cut corners if you had to.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, anybody else with a question? All right, well, y'all ready to sample?
Hibiscus tea and passion fruit, there's no alcohol in these.
Okay, there's no alcohol. It's just passion fruit if y'all do want to try the drinks.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Chris, tell folks where y'all are located again.
So we're on First Avenue in Founders Station. You can also access us from Morris Avenue. We're open Monday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the weekdays and 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Very good. What do y'all think? Very refreshing? Yeah, they said it's delicious. Now, if you do at the restaurant, when you do add an adult beverage to it, what do you use?
So we're the rum bar.
You have to use rum, right?
Well, we have over 150 rums, and what's really neat about rum is it's not all spiced or heavily flavored. Depending on the country, who kind of brought still technology to it, we have 26 countries on our wall, and we have rums that taste like everything from vanilla bean all the way over to your bourbon drinker's rum.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all ready to try the ceviche?
You're just good to grab and go.
I'll help you out.
Yes, sir. Straws. Yes, sir.
And so we serve the ceviches with plantain chips. So we get plantains while they're green and still unripe. And we just run them on a mandolin or a deli slicer and then just drop them in clean oil. So they're a healthy, extremely delicious chip. And we season them with a Caribbean-inspired seasoning salt.
Hey, Chris, talk about plantains. I love them. They're so unique. They look like a banana.
So they're one of my favorite things to work with because they're used in almost every one of the countries that I research for the cuisine that I pull from. And you can utilize them when they're green or when they're ripe. And so when they're green, we like to turn them into the chips. And then when they ripen, we like to turn them into it's called mofongo, but it's basically just like mashed plantains. And then we turn that into a crab cake. You can also let them get sweet and cook them almost like yams. They're a fun ingredient to work with.
Yeah, I've had them when they've been turned into like yams. They really are. It's
They're
like a
so
dessert.
good.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about the ceviche? Different? Good? They can't talk, Chris, because they're eating, so it must be good.
We have that effect on people.
All right, who else needs one? Y'all just raise your hand if you hadn't gotten one yet. Okay. I'll get you one.
Thank you.
Give that to like lady right there. Right here.
Everybody got one? All right, so Chris, I think you've convinced us to take a vacation at home and come visit.
I'm looking forward to seeing y'all and stop by and see us.
We've got one more that's already ready. Anybody need one or want another one? Right here, right here. All right, before we wrap this session up, anybody have any questions for the chef? Okay.
The dip that comes with the chips, does it have seafood in it?
No.
All right, awesome.
Anybody else? Y'all good?
Hi.
All right, if you can, let's give our chefs a round of applause and thank them for their work today.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Cayo, Coco on the stage today. Thank you guys so much. That's fantastic.
You're welcome. Oh, you're going to want the chips. You're going to want the chips. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks again for the gang at Cayo Coco. And don't forget our very next
welcome.
presentation at the cooking stage coming up in about 30 minutes. We're also 30 minutes out from our very first birthday bingo drawing, which includes a $100 Walmart gift card from Way FM, a Sweet Grown Alabama gift bag as well. And remember to complete all your birthday bingo sheets and get those in for this and future drawings. Also, not sure if you noticed, the gang over at the Bundles diaper bank over here, the big donate flags over here, they're playing with beach balls over there. You too could have that kind of joy because we are giving away beach balls. I have so many bags of beach balls. So we're giving those away in about 30 minutes as well. So be sure to hang around, go see all of our sponsors, and welcome once again to the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo.
Oh yeah, like a dessert.
Did you drop a card?
I did. Thank you.
Can't miss that.
When the cow gives you a card, you got to take care of it. Oh yeah. You either love the cows as a kid or you're scared to death.
My friend was like, it's Chick-fil-A day, you gotta get a full battle of it. I was like, what? But he's like, no, it's like this. Like, you need a face paint your like face, and you go, and they'll give you like some free skaters. We did it. I was like amazed. I looked weird. I won't lie, but I got a free skater.
What's going on? Didn't see you in Montgomery last night. To hear Laura How was it? She was very good.
I wanted to go, but my wife's mother was in the hospital. She got something happened to her Thursday, and got an ambulance, and she's 87. So I wasn't going in. Yeah, I had.
We needed pumping up a little bit after that debate Tuesday night. And she was very upbeat. Because that's the daughter-in-law. She's a RNC co-chair.
Yeah, I had a spot. John.
Not sure if you've noticed, but there's a giant bird walking around the center here. It's Commander from the Birmingham Squadron. He'll be here for a little bit longer. Come by, get your picture taken. Engage in some hijinks and some goings-on, maybe some hullabaloo. He's here, and he's ready to entertain.
Hey guys, for those of you waiting for the next chef is coming up at 11. So if you want to hang around, or any folks who have not been able to watch the cooking segment, please come on over and we'll get started about 11.
And if you just watch the current chefs that are up on the stage, there are still some samples left that if you'd like, come by and sample some of the goodies they're putting together.
The mayor put a little something in there.
I made sure it didn't have it.
It looks like.
Hey, gang, if you missed out on the Cayo Coco gang, the samples, they still have some, and they will be setting up at this table over here to the immediate right of our chef stage with extra samples. And to answer your questions and your inquiries about their cuisine, go by, check that out. Our next chef coming up is Julie Kimbrough of the Meal Prep Mamacita. She'll be on the stage at 11 o'clock, so be sure to stick around for that.
It's a little overpowering on the mint, though.
Make sure you have good breath.
I had a Mai Tai first time ever the other night. Really? It was delicious.
Would you like some more?
Well, I love smelling the mint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one more shot. That's all I'm doing. Where you going? I'm going to St. George Festival.
Oh yeah, downtown.
That's my old stomping. That's where I grew up.
You go there?
No, I didn't go there, but my house, there's two churches down there, Lebanese and Greek. They're really more Lebanese, but it's called Greek.
Right.
St. George and St. Elias. You know St. Elias?
Well, my son got married in one of the Greek churches down there.
It's not Greek, but it's
Greek church.
Greek.
Yes.
That's one he got married. They're really, St. Elias is a
What does she know about it?
well,
Okay. Yeah, whatever works.
What do you know about this
St. George. St. George is Greek Melchite.
Yeah, it's not Greek Orthodox.
It's not Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, but it's similar.
But there's not a Greek in there. That's the thing about it.
They keep using
They're
Greek.
mostly Lebanese.
Exactly. Yeah, we support each other. Like
Yeah.
we
But
support their
Jesus is
festival.
part of their thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Christians.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're all Christians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not all Baptists would agree with
But is that going on this weekend?
Yeah.
Is that your church?
No, but that's my stomping. I grew up right there in that neighborhood.
Oh, I didn't know
We were
that.
live with them this week on Good Day.
Good.
He was
yeah.
like the Fonz back in the day.
Ah.
I wish I had
Is
that
your
much
brother an OBGYN at UAB?
What?
Is your brother a
My
OBG?
son's a high risk over.
He was the doctor of my daughter-in-law. She loves him.
Oh, everybody loves
He's
Brian.
amazing. That's
Sweet.
your son?
That's my son.
Oh my God.
Of course he's sweet.
He's
He is a
fabulous. He delivered my grandson
Aw,
14 days ago.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, parents, don't forget, if your kids are here, we've got the Kids Expo Zone in the back left of the center here. That's where all the inflatables are. There's games, plenty of ways for your kids to burn off that excess energy on a rainy Saturday. So go by, check that out. Let them play for a little bit, and in just a little bit, Kevin Derryberry is going to be out performing again. The Cows from Chick-fil-A will be back on the scene in just a few as well. And, of course, at 11 o'clock, we have got Julie Kimbrough with the Meal Prep Mamacita, along with our celebrity cooking stage hosts, Janice Rogers from WBRC6 and JT from WERC. They'll be here at 11 o'clock to show us how to cook some stuff and also give out some free samples. So make your way over here at about 11 o'clock for that. Once again, welcome back to the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo.
Oh, she's a pharmacist, too. JT.
Hi.
I do the morning show on
Yes.
105.5.
Nice to meet you,
Good to
JT.
see you too.
Yes.
He's going to come run your segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So
Sounds
you're
good.
a pharmacist?
I'm a pharmacist.
Where
yes,
are you
sir.
pharmacist in?
So Publix Gardendale.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Very
I'm a
nice.
pharmacy manager there. Been there. Well, I've been with Publix for about 5 years.
Do you live in Gardendale?
I don't. I live in Mountain Brook. So
Okay.
right off of Old Leeds, not too far.
Gotcha.
So yeah. But
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I'm married, got 3 kids, and this is kind of my side thing. that
How old
I
are your
love to
kids?
do. Eli is 8, Anna Grace is almost 5, and then Luke is 1.
Wow, and you do all this.
And we do this.
You
Yeah.
got-
Oh, my word.
I just have like meal prep recipes. I had people ask me years and years ago, like, where are my recipes from? And I was like, well, I guess I should just kind of.
That's awesome.
My daughter would love what you're doing.
Yeah.
She teaches at Mountain Brook Elementary.
Oh, fun.
She,
Okay.
She's the art teacher there.
Okay, we're your Cherokee band. So
Okay.
we play a lot like sports and stuff. We have some Mountain
Right.
Brook elementary
You need a
kids.
microphone.
Yeah.
She wants with it.
Oh, yes.
Julie and
Sorry.
Philip?
Hey,
I'm
Philip.
running this
Yes. Okay. I'm not used
So I guess you've been seeing the way we're not reading
Yes.
like the bios. We're just letting interviewing you more and letting you tell folks what.
Julie is a busy wife and mama of 3.
Yeah.
She loves to prepare.
Yes. This is my niece Shauna.
Hi.
Help you. Yeah, she's gonna get up there and help me. So. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
So what are you whipping up today?
So I have. Do you know what like cowboy caviar? Redneck
Oh, I love
caviar?
it. Sure. Love
this
it.
is Mamacita caviar.
All right.
So that's what I'm whipping up.
Is it mild or spicy?
Well, you just need to just be okay with it. It could be both. Well, here's the thing. I don't
you just
really
need to
have.
be
a-
okay.
I know. I don't have a spice meter, so I don't really know.
I'm a
To
bland
me,
guy. My
Okay.
wife is a spicy lady.
It might have a little kick. There's some jalapenos in it, so
Okay.
it's kind of.
Yeah, see, people will tell
Yeah.
me on the show. I do a morning show
Yeah.
for Good Day Alabama.
Yes.
And we
Julie Kimbrough from the Meal Prep Mamacita coming up on the cooking stage in just about 5 minutes. So go ahead and start making your way over to the cooking stage area. But in those 5 minutes, you've got time still to get a few more of those birthday bingo slots stamped. Make sure you go by all our vendors, get your card stamped, turn it in at the box by the Welcome Center, and we're going to start giving away prizes at about 11:30 right here. So you have your assignments, make it happen.
we'll let you prepare.
Well, if I get,
We got about 5 minutes.
all right. Good.
Yeah, I can't taste my food anymore after that. That's
don't
all I'm
like it.
thinking about.
It's uncomfortable.
I don't get it. What's good about your mouth? Yeah, what's good about the burning it?
Now, I do like blackened fish pepper, black pepper, but I don't like jalapeno. The doctor finally told Judy, he said, you got to stop doing it. She was drinking jalapeno juice out of the chocolate. She loved it so much. She goes,
Wow.
you're going to burn your esophagus.
Now that is a love for some spices.
Oh, she's
No,
backed
ma'am.
off of it over the years.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
she likes this part.
Nope.
So when you go to a restaurant, what you go to? Steak?
At a
fish, or-
restaurant, it's
What do you
usually,
like?
I guess it just depends. I love a good steak.
Yeah, so it's you.
Fish and shrimp and stuff like that. So I usually try to get something that I don't make at home. Like I don't fry the shrimp at home.
Right.
So I like fried shrimp and oysters. Because I don't cook that at home. I'll bake a fish or
Right.
saute a fish.
Right.
But I don't. Yeah. So
I li-
unless we have a fish, like we were having a fish fry or something, but I don't just go, hey, I'm gonna fry it.
I like that coconut shrimp.
Oh gosh, I do too. I do too. What about you? What's your go-to?
I'm fish and Judy steak, and every time we go out to dinner, the waiter will bring the food, and he'll inevitably put that steak right
In front of you.
I mean, it got you.
That's funny.
We enjoy it. Like, I just
He was just assuming he quit doing that.
all the time. They
Get in
do.
trouble today.
Yeah, I like fish better. We went out last night. I had sea bass, and she had pork. Just think what we had. Like, sure enough.
I do love a good sea bass though.
I'm bad on what's that?
Is that your weakness? Yeah, that's Mike's too. Mike Beverly, he has a really sweet tooth. Like I don't think about dessert. Like he does.
Yeah.
So it's probably like you. So if you're out to dinner, unless the chef says y'all want dessert, I never think about it.
Yeah, if they don't bring it, but if they bring it,
Yeah, can't help it.
you're not taking it home. No. Is Mike married?
He is, but he's the most private person.
never talks about his family.
Do the barbecue thing at Cahobbits
Yeah.
every year together. And I always wanted to ask him, I'm afraid to ask.
He's an anomaly. He and I are dear friends, and I only know things about him because we're dear friends. Otherwise, you don't know things about him. It's just he has always kept his family very private.
Yeah.
He's never put anybody. He has 3 grown children.
Grown?
He has 2 grandchildren. You would never know.
He never, does he talk to anyone? Never.
Never.
All right, let me put this down.
If
Bye,
you're out,
y'all. Always a pleasure.
well, when you come and see me, you can,
When you want to talk, come whenever
I'm on vacation next week when I get back.
I think that's going to be so fun.
You better check your calendar.
I don't know. It may have been a luncheon. Maybe that's what it was.
Hard going with the dams. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Just make sure nobody gets your picture. Mayor, we can't, what the?
Oh, look, I think everybody.
I hear you.
Yeah, he and Paul were on talking about the
Okay, gang, make your way over to the Sweet Grown Alabama stage. Julie Kimbrough from the Meal Prep Mamacita kicking off in just a moment.
Oh, just a moment. I'm just looking at what she's doing.
Get this spicy dip out for you. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad, I promise. It's not too spicy.
Here, smile at the camera for the minute. You need to get some of this before you go. So, and you're going to show me how to make this.
Yeah, we're just gonna chop it all up and throw it in a bowl and mix it together. It's easy peasy. Ready to go?
You actually cut up jalapenos or you just
Yeah. Oh no, I cut them up. Yeah, do you see them? They're in there. Well, that would, you may want that one. I don't really see
a
anything.
little more mild?
A little more mild, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Once again, we are ready for another cooking demonstration at the Sweet Grown Alabama cooking stage. JT, who do you have over there?
Thank you very much, Jim. No, what's your Mark? I'm playing with you. Come
Always
on,
been
Mark. Julie Kimbrough is not only an incredible chef, but she's the Mamacita Mama Cooker.
That's right.
She is also a pharmacist at the Publix in Gardendale. So if you're in that area, have all your
Yep.
prescriptions transferred over to you.
That's right. Come see us, y'all. I can
So-
do that too.
What are you whipping up, and how did you get into all this? This looks fantastic.
Well, I've been meal prepping for like 10 plus years, and so I just would bring my food to pharmacy school, had all my friends ask me recipes, and I thought, well, maybe I should just do some social media stuff. And I just started posting my recipes, and people actually liked it. And so that's just kind of how I got started. And I've been doing the Meal Prep Mamacita for about 2 years now. And I just post all my recipes, and I just want to show people, especially mamas, busy mamas who work, that it's easy to meal prep and feed yourself and your family. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
All right, so you have children.
I do.
How many kids?
I have 3, and they're here. They're back there.
Oh, there they are.
There's Eli and Anna, and then we have Luke and my husband back there, and my mom and my sister and my sweet little niece.
Brought the crew.
Yeah, we brought the crew.
So
yeah.
so you do a ton of cooking
I do.
for all them and still do your job.
I do.
And still do a blog.
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
crazy.
It's all yours.
So this is, I don't know if anybody's familiar with cowboy caviar, or we call it in the South redneck caviar. This is my Mamacita caviar. So this is my niece, like I said, Gianna. She's going to help me I want to show y'all, basically we're going to chop up a bunch of ingredients and we're going to put it in this bowl and then we're going to mix it together, and then this is just something that's good for like tailgating, or if you want like a really quick appetizer for a family dinner or get together. This is what this is, and this is what it looks like after, and I do have some samples for y'all and some chips. So I guess we'll just get started. Gigi, you want to help me? Okay, so we're going to start chopping. So basically, this is, like I said, Mamacita caviar. If you want to just go ahead and start chopping the corn and stuff. Yeah, and then cucumber. Yeah, cut it off the cob. Here, do it in the bowl. Or come over here, Gigi. I have found that if you cut corn on the cob in a bowl, it doesn't really go everywhere. So, like this. There you go. Because when you cut corn off the cob, see, it just kind of goes everywhere. So, she's going to cut that. Like I said, this is corn. That's just corn on the cob. You can use frozen corn. You can use corn on the cob, or just corn in the can, whatever you want to do. So we've got the corn. And then this is 1 can of just black-eyed peas. I have rinsed this and drained it. You can use canned black-eyed peas, or you can use frozen, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to toss this in here, Gigi. So we're going to toss that in here. And again, this is just 1 bowl, and we're throwing all this in here. Okay. And yes, I will say, I already told him, it might be a little spicy. Hopefully not. So if you don't like spice, you may want to just get a small bite. But I am using a fresh jalapeno, and you never know with a jalapeno if you're going to get a spicy one or not. So I'm not really sure. But
there's no such thing as a non-spicy jalapeno.
I beg to differ. Hold on. I will tell you, so when I was making this recipe last night, I made 2 containers. 1 container had jalapeno, the other did too. The second jalapeno was extremely spicy. I had just spice on my hands, and I was telling my husband last night, my hands are burning. This jalapeno is so spicy. It is a real thing. So some of them are not so spicy, and some of them are spicy. So I don't know. Like I told them, I don't really have a spice meter. I like anything spicy. It's great to me, but I have to remind myself that not everybody is like me, and not everybody likes spice. So hopefully it's not too spicy. Okay, so yeah, Gigi's getting the corn going, and this is 4 ears of corn. All right, so I'm going to actually start chopping up some cucumber. So I've just got, this is an English cucumber. You can use English cucumber or whatever. I think there's another kind of cucumber too. I'm not really sure what it's called, just like a regular cucumber. But I like the English cucumbers better. They just taste better to me. So let me see, I'm going to move some of this so y'all can see what I'm doing. So we're going to do a cucumber. We've got corn, and then we've got cucumber. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm the worst person like cutting. I am not safe with this kind of stuff. If you watch any of my videos on my social media stuff, I'm kind of dangerous with the knives, so I have to be really careful. Okay, so we're just going to chop this cucumber up. Again, this is just like a really easy dip. All right, Gigi, how's it coming? All right, she's doing a great job. So Gianna, I learned how to cook from my grandmother. And so this is my sister's daughter, and I tell my sister all the time that she got me out of her because we are so similar. And so my mama taught me how to cook, and I feel like Gigi, she loves to cook too, so I feel like we're so much alike. All right, Gigi, you want to put these cucumbers here? All right, we're going to put some, let me chop this one up. If you want to go ahead, so I've got some bell peppers as well. So I've got a red bell pepper, and I've got an orange bell pepper. You can do green, yellow, orange, red, whatever color bell pepper you want to do. All right, so Gigi's cutting the bell pepper. Oh, y'all almost cut my finger, I'm telling you. You did. Listen, when my mama taught me how to cook, she didn't really tell me about knife safety. So, you know, she was a Southern lady, and we just got in the kitchen and did it. And I don't know if any of y'all, she would always peel her potatoes like this. I don't know if any of y'all know that, or know about that, but when she would peel her potatoes, she would go this way, and it was always so dangerous. So, but she taught me how to cook, so that's what's important. All right, so I've got cucumbers. I'm going to add the cucumbers in, Gigi. I'm going to go right over you. So we're adding cucumbers. All right, and then we've got, so this is 1 packet of taco seasoning. You can use whatever kind you like. They do make gluten-free taco seasoning for people who need that, and they also make low sodium, so, or mild for people who don't like spicy. So I'm going to take 1 packet of taco seasoning, and I'm just going to pour that in there. All right, so we got that. And then we're going to also add a half of a red onion. And then we have this queso fresco or cotija cheese. It's just like a crumbly just mild cheese. It's really good. So it comes this little pack, and we're just going to crumble this up and put that in there. And then I like this cilantro. I get this at Publix, if I can get it open. I have a hard time getting stuff open, too. Okay, I know. She couldn't get the chips open earlier. Okay, so this is just the cilantro that's like in the produce section. It's dry, but it's kind of fresh at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not completely dry. But if y'all can see that, it's really good. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that on there. And then I have, of course, this recipe is on my social media, my Facebook, Instagram. It's the Meal Prep Mamacita. Y'all be sure to follow me. So it's on there. And if you want this recipe. So now, okay, Gigi's got the bell peppers going. Looks good, Gigi. I'm just going to cut half of this red onion, and you can always use, red onions I feel like are kind of stronger than the white or the yellow, so you can always just use a white onion, yellow onion, whatever kind of onion, or if you don't like onions, you don't have to put onion in it. So, okay, y'all, see if I can do this and not cut my finger. Okay, so just chopping up this onion. And again, this recipe's so easy. You just throw it in a bowl and mix it together. All right, y'all. So we've got some red onion. That's going in. I mean, look how pretty this is looking. It's looking really good. Eli, you gonna eat some of this? Or do you want some?
Do your kids like spicy food?
Absolutely not. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know. But it's funny because I'm always like, Eli, taste this. And he's like, Mom, it's so spicy. I can't breathe. I think it's not that bad. You're fine. So.
Yeah, just put more cheese on it.
That's right. Okay. All right. So we've got the onion. Oh, okay. So jalapeno time. You want to come help? So he told me earlier he does not like spicy. So we're going to do, so this is a half of a jalapeno, and you can use jarred jalapenos if you want, or if you don't like spice, you don't have to do jalapenos. Let's just hope this is not a spicy one, like the one last night. I was washing my face, getting ready for bed, and my hands were on fire, and I thought, this is not good. Sometimes you get a jalapeno like that. Okay, so now we got jalapeno. Gigi, you good? Yeah. All right, she's doing great. So jalapenos in there. Oh my goodness. What are we going to do with you? That's fine, Gigi. Yeah, I think that's all we got to do is chopping. Yeah, that's it. And then okay, so this is the cotija cheese or queso fresco. So I'm going to do about a half a block of this. All right, Gigi's got the rest of the peppers in. Okay, so you just, if y'all see this cheese, it's just very crumbly. So you just, again, the recipe's on my website and all of that good stuff. So you just kind of crumble it in there like this. And then, yeah, like that. Let me get.
What kind of cheese is that?
This is queso fresco, or it's also known as cotija. So it's just like a mild, just crumbly cheese. It's really, really good. All right, let me get something to wipe my hands off with. All right, so the last thing that we're going to add to this, so this is what we've got so far. Show y'all. This is what we've got so far. So it's really pretty. This is a lemon garlic vinaigrette and marinade. I get this at Publix. It's also in the produce section where the cilantro is, like where all the bell peppers and onions are. But this is just the vinaigrette, and this is what I pour on it. So basically, you just drizzle this on here like this, and it's really, really good. Okay, so that's that. And then we're just going to stir all of this together like this. I mean, look how easy this is. And this is such a good dip for family functions, football season. If y'all are Alabama, Auburn. Who's that Auburn fan? War Eagle. Alabama? My husband's back there like, no, ma'am. Hey, we love both, right? What you like, Eli? Alabama? No, sir.
Roll Tide.
It's funny because my son back there, he's Luke, so it's one of my sons. Anyways, I had him dressed in an Auburn outfit, and then Daddy saw him, and he was not very happy about that. So, and then I told my mom, and my mom said, where did you get that outfit? I said, well, you actually bought it for me. So she did. But, we're kind of a house divided at my house. All right, y'all, so this is the Mamacita caviar, and that's it. It is so easy, and you can use, you got chips right here. So this is what it looks like if y'all can see. Super easy, super good. So I've got like a little tray here, and then I've got chips around it, kind of making a little bit of a mess. That's okay though, because the messiest food is the best food. All right, so this is kind of what it looks like. And then you have your chips and you have your dip, and then you can do football, watch football, get with your family, stuff like that. So, and then we have some samples too. And
How about a round of applause for Julie? That was great. That was really good.
It might be a little spicy. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully not.
Some samples. They can come up and get some samples. So help yourself. Come on up and get some samples, and let her know if it's spicy enough for you.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all come up and get you a sample. Here you go.
Julie, where can people go to get your recipes and watch and follow you?
Yeah, so my Instagram, I have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then I have a website, and it is all The Meal Prep Mamacita. So that's where they can go and find recipes and everything. So
The Meal Prep Mamacita. Very good.
what is it? Oh, cucumbers. You can. I mean, you could just, yeah, you can leave it out. Or you could, I don't know if you like zucchini. You don't have to do, I mean, you can honestly leave it out. It would be just fine without it. Yeah, or zucchini. You like that? Yeah? Yes, chips, yes. Get some more chips here.
We missed the beginning.
Oh, you didn't miss much. We were just chopping. Thank y'all for coming. There, yes ma'am. I'm gonna get y'all some chips. You gotta have chips with it. There you go, absolutely, thank you. Hello, hello. Is that enough? You want more? Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta get him some too. You are so welcome, thank you.
He gets up early and
We love y'all's cooking. Betsy Gouda, we did her little apple bombs yesterday.
Did you really? Right. Love to hear that.
We told her.
Did you tell her? Because I thought she was hard.
Thanks once again to Julie Kimbrough from the Meal Prep Mamacita. Our next celebrity chef coming up at 11:30. And also, as she is taking the stage, we will have our next giveaway. Our next giveaway for the birthday bingo. And let me just give you a quick rundown of the stuff we're giving away this next time. A signed cookbook from Cayo Marie, a signed copy of the Meal Prep Mamacita's cookbook, which she will be signing over here, by the way. A leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama, a Sweet Grown Alabama gift pack that includes cinnamon pecans and bee honey and dairy goat's milk soap and all kinds of other good stuff. A Cayo Coco restaurant dinner for two, yum, and also a $100 Walmart gift card. We're giving away all that at 11:30, right before our next celebrity chef. So if you haven't filled out your gift card, grab one at the winners. I mean, at the welcome booth. Run around, see every vendor, and bring it back to the box right back out here in the main lobby. I see cows out here from Chick-fil-A, the Chick-fil-A Dancing Cows, which must mean that they're here to take pictures and have a dance party. And there's no party like a cow dance party, because a cow dance party is utter nonsense. Yes. Ah, there it is. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
She brought some apples fresh from the orchard.
Yes.
Come on, come on.
Just being a fan, bro. Enjoy your
I appreciate that. What's your name?
Daryl with Dan.
Daryl, nice to meet you.
Going on stage with my wife.
Oh, okay. Is this your one? Or the next
No,
one?
next one.
Okay. Well, I'll be right up there with you. I'm coming up. Did you want me to try that? Is this why you pulled me back here?
I want you to try that. Yes. Get you one. We're gonna give
Now, do you cook
This
like
is
she
my
does?
favorite. I try. But when she cooks, I come.
Oh my gosh.
Let's my favorite thing. Y'all are lucky to get in here. You, me, the Mama Sita, and all that. We need to do a Friendsgiving. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You think about it and text me. Yeah, we'll have to figure out because we'll have to work with the schedule. Isn't that good? Yeah. Yeah. Julie, or anything. Yeah. I know. I don't.
I think better be warm.
Yes. Having stick of butter in
She's not gain a pound eating it, but it's delicious.
Yeah, if we hit the microwave with it, this would be.
Right out of the oven. Ice cream on it.
Oh my God.
It's always what ice cream is.
Now, does she cook all kinds of foods?
Huh?
She cooks like this every
Yes.
Not just
We love going to eat at her house. She cooks every day.
Oh.
Hi. Her and Martie.
All right. Kathleen are all regulars on our show.
Yes, I do. Hey, save me some pumpkin bread. My sample is way too small.
Cook?
I have no idea.
I do all the
Oh, do you?
Well,
chefs and
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that would be important. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Anyway, text. Do you have my text? Do you like it?
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, so good.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? No problem. No problem.
Hi,
Hi, Annie. Jake.
Miss Annie.
JT.
It's so fun to put a voice.
Pleasure.
I know. Face. You know what I mean? I just
A
close
face for
my eyes
radio.
and I can hear you.
So here's what we're going to do. He's going to be up there and introduce you to let them be familiar. And then I'm going to take over and just kind of walk through it. If there's a question, I'll throw at you. Or if the
What are
audience
you
has any
doing?
questions.
What are you whipping up?
We're making pumpkin bread. Yeah.
This with that?
I know.
Don't leave. Yeah. So, we're not leaving. Pictures. Picture time.
All right.
All right. Listen, I need one. Thank you. Can I have one with the both of y'all? My daughter's
Hey, don't forget, go by the booth in the very back and listen to some great music from Kevin Derryberry. He'll be performing on and off throughout the event. Go by, tell him Mark says hi, because we're on opposite ends of the arena, and I don't get to see him as much. Also, don't forget to take your kids by the Expo Zone. Those big inflatables in the back, they're free. Go let your kids burn off some energy on this rainy Saturday. Go by, do that, and don't forget our next celebrity chef will be setting up on our Sweet Grown Alabama celebrity chef stage in about 9 minutes. That's also when our next giveaway is going to happen. Don't forget to finish up those cards for the Birmingham birthday bingo giveaway and get those in the box so we can do our drawing in about 9 minutes.
says you're a regular down there, so all right. Nice to meet y'all.
Who's up next? Miss Annie. Yeah, she's another social media. Yeah, it's interesting. She goes to schools and ask her what she does. It's she goes in like it's a Miss Annie and talks about. She's got a that's how it all started. Okay. I don't know what she does with the kids. She got one of the days she dressed.
Hey, we're just moments away from our next giveaway, but also we've got other things available at all of the booths from our exhibitors. Once again, we want to thank our title sponsor, Benton Nissan. Go by, find out all that they can do for you in your family's driving needs. Also, the Lacey Growl with Edward Jones is handing out fall marigold seed packets and has drawings for 4 different gift baskets. Stillwater's Counseling Center is raffling off a Bose SoundLink Resolve portable Bluetooth speaker. You can take one of those guys home. It's a $200 value, and it can be a part of your life when you leave here today. Go by their booth and find out how you can get registered for that. Coming up in just about 2 minutes, we are going to be giving away our first round of giveaways right before our next celebrity chef takes the stage. Annie McDaniel from Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen will be helping us out, along with JT from WERC.
I'll tell you that last delicious combo.
Yeah, the chips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as spicy as I thought it was going to be.
Me neither.
Right?
And I love spicy things, and I really expected to have more heat to it, but it didn't need it. It was so much flavor in there.
Very good, very good.
Very good, very good. So yeah, Annie and McDaniel will be up in just a few minutes. So make your way over to possibly win prizes and also get some free samples from Annie.
So her name is Danna. Okay, not Dane. She's sweet as can be.
Oh my gosh, she's a mess. Her husband is a legislator.
Mr. Standridge.
Yeah, but I can't remember his first name.
I don't know.
But yeah, lawmaker.
So the sweet grown element. This is the sweet. Dan?
Yeah, there's a couple. I think a couple of those chefs were. That first one told me
Yeah.
he was too.
Kathleen, the one after her.
Yep.
Grits and Gouda. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Good.
stuff coming.
So she, Kathleen Phillips, her son, he's an adult now, but he had so they created a foundation, and their fundraiser every year is to raise funds to give those nice automated wheelchairs. And so that's what they do. That's their foundation. Yeah.
How's the son doing?
He's good.
Good.
He's good. He does really well.
Who's in the mood to win free stuff? Before we even get started, who wants a free koosh bowl? Oh, I blame the throw, not the catcher. Oh, sign me up, coach. Oh, We got more of those, trust me. Don't worry about it. Here, throw her one. She wanted one. Here you go. Don't hit the sound guy. Okay. So if you've been playing our birthday bingo and gone to every exhibitor's booth, gotten your card stamped, brought the card back, put it in the box in the welcome area, you are eligible for free stuff. If you have not done all those steps, get on it because we're doing this again at noon. But I've got our first winners, so if I call your name, come up here and get your prize. The first item we're giving away is a signed cookbook from Kay Marie, Knocking Out Cancer in the Kitchen, one recipe at a time. And that winner is Chloe Nam. Chloe Nam, come get your free book. Prize number 2, one signed copy of the Meal Prep Mamacita's Cookbook. Thank you, Julie Kimbrough, by the way. Joe Gragliano. Joe Gragliano. All right, Joe. Way to go, Joe. He did the legwork. He made it happen. His dreams became a reality. I bet it's in that book. Next up is one leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama. That winner is Brooke Thompson. Brooke Thompson. If you see Brooke Thompson, send her here to get her free leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama. Our next prize, one Sweet Grown Alabama gift pack. And that winner is Haley Shirley. Oh! Haley, come on, Haley. The gift pack from, oh yeah, there you go. The gift pack from Sweet Grown Alabama. Adorable. A dinner for two from Cayo Coco. We actually got to taste their stuff earlier. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Get back. That includes an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert. And the winner is Danny Burns. Woo. So if you see Danny, tell him to come get his prize, but also suck up because he might be able to bring you with him. So, and also finally our last prize for this run through, a $100 Walmart gift card, which should cover a dozen eggs.
Maybe some bread.
Maybe some bread, if you're lucky. Megan Trenner wins the $100 gift card from Walmart. And that is courtesy of Way FM. Let's give it up for our winners. And if you have not registered with Birthday Bingo, go by, get your card at the Welcome Center. Go see every exhibitor's table. Get them to stamp your card and turn it back in. We'll be doing another drawing at noon. Now, our next celebrity chef on the Sweet Grown Alabama stage is Miss Annie McDaniel from Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. JT, take it away.
I'll tell you, this is, you're going to like the samples on this one, too. It's been great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've heard a lot about you, and I want you to tell everybody that not only you're an incredible cook here, but you do some things with elementary kids and go to schools and dress up and talk about science. What's all that about? How'd you get started doing that?
So 25 or 30 years ago, I started Miss Annie's Educational Adventures, and so I teach science, and I get to dress up in a costume, and it's an in-school field trip, and it's so much fun. And gosh, I started that it was just a kind of a situation where God just walked in and let that just kind of be. I just started just teaching a little bit, and then it grew into every day I'm at a different school, and I teach in like 35 different schools. Lots and lots of classrooms. It's super fun.
So do you live in this area, or where do you guys live?
We do. We live in...
This is her husband, Daryl.
Yeah, this is Daryl.
She let me tag along today.
We have a lot of our followers here, and I'm so glad. They've come from long distances to be here. So
where do you live?
Guys, we live in Columbiana.
Columbiana, okay.
Yeah, yes.
Well, welcome.
Columbiana.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. So anybody who knows Miss Annie knows that we're really just famous for this pumpkin bread, and so when they asked us to be on the stage, I said, yeah, we're just going to make pumpkin bread because it's what I'm really famous for. So Daryl's way over here. You can come a little closer. So he said he was a little nervous to get up here. But do you guys have the pumpkin bread card? Did everybody get a card? Because you don't have to pull it out, but you can certainly follow along, and that's my little famous recipe. If you don't have one, raise your hand. This is Brittany, and this is Melissa. And if you guys know Melissa, so Mama Sue and me and Melissa share an office. And so that's Celebrate with Melissa. So, all right, want to make sure you guys have a card. So as Miss Annie, I go around and I teach all of these science classes. And as I teach, one of the things I really realized was these teachers do amazing, amazing work. I've done it, like I said, for almost 30 years, and I'm in a different classroom and at a different school every day. And so they do amazing work. And so I thought, I'm going to give them a treat. And so I either make pumpkin bread or I make chocolate chip cookies every night, and then I bag them all up, and then I take them to the school the next day. And so the front office and the teachers all get a special treat from Miss Annie. And so this pumpkin bread, everybody loves it so much, but it has a real special meaning to me because in 2014, so 10 years ago, my youngest brother was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he was 36 years old. And it was just a month, actually, after Daryl had a stroke. So Daryl had a stroke in April. My brother was diagnosed with cancer in May. And more than anything, he knew he was going to die. And more than anything, he wanted to take his family to see the snow in Tennessee. And so I thought, okay, how can I help him make that happen? And I thought, I've been making this pumpkin bread for so long, or at that point like 15 years, and I thought I can either give him some money or maybe I can do a pumpkin bread fundraiser. And so that year, it was November, and so I made pumpkin bread with Angela Deaver. So many of you guys who follow us know that Angela runs all the things, and she and I are partners in crime. So we made pumpkin bread, and at the end of that day, well, we made like 500 loaves like this size, and we sold all of them, and with so much generosity from so many people, we raised over $10,000 for my brother. Woohoo! Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty awesome. And unfortunately, he was not able to go with his family because he passed away in December. But that night, after we had done this pumpkin bread fundraiser for him, he just couldn't believe it. He was so touched by the fact that so many people who didn't even know him would be willing to give so much to his family. So anyway, the pumpkin bread has a very special place in my heart. So then after that, for 5 years, we did the pumpkin bread fundraiser, and we gave money, and we found special people to give it to. And then it got too big, and we couldn't figure out how to do it. So we're not doing it right now, but I want to figure out a way to be able to start it again and give to someone who is in need. So anyway, I just thought, I'm doing the pumpkin bread. So we'll get started, and it's really, really easy. So of course, you're just going to put in your wet ingredients first. So that would be 5 eggs. And is there anything, you know what, we probably, while we're doing this, let me tell you how we came into Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. So you know, I'm Miss Annie in the schools for all that time. I think since 1999, maybe a little bit before then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in 2020, COVID happened, and I was not allowed to be in the schools. And it was shocking because it was a huge source of our income. And so I couldn't be in the schools, and Mama Sue, she and I met each other when she was at Vincent Elementary School as the assistant principal. And I saw her making videos, and I knew that she needed some help with her social media, and I knew Angela Deaver because Angela and I are really good friends.
I love.
And so I told the both of them that they needed to meet, so they did. So Angela was helping Mama Sue with her social media, and I'm not working, and Mama Sue has her very first cookbook. So I start helping, and Daryl, with these cookbooks, and then Mama Sue got cancer. And so, anyway, a lot of books were being sold, and they needed a lot of help. And so Daryl and I, along with Angela Deaver, did y'all see that? I just added pumpkin. I've never done a cooking show. Okay, 5 eggs.
Just grade A pumpkin.
1 can of pumpkin. And then we're going to put in 1 1/3 cups of oil.
Not pumpkin pie mix, it's just regular pumpkin.
You are so good with that, Dee.
He's a great sous chef.
Right? He really is. Okay, so 1 1/3 cups of oil. Okay, so where was I at in the story?
We're working hard with Mama Sue.
Yeah, we were working hard with Mama Sue. And the schools still don't open, and so Miss Annie doesn't have anything to do for almost 2 years. So I helped Mama Sue, and then she said, you know, Annie, you could do this. So I started doing it, and now we have about 185,000 followers, which is so many of you, and we so appreciate it. All right, now you mix this up. And a lot of you have asked me, when you see this mixer, because it's not a KitchenAid, you've asked, what kind of mixer is that? So it's a Bosch mixer, and it's kind of my fave, because look, you don't have that big arm in the way that you do with a KitchenAid. My mom had one of these growing up. My mom, you guys have seen her on some videos recently. She made bread. I'm one of 7 children, and she made bread every week. This is an excellent bread maker. It needs all the things. So anyway, my kids bought me this along with Daryl, I think 2 or 3 years ago. So you mix all your wet stuff up. Then you're going to put in your dry stuff. So it's like 2 cups. Yeah, it's 2 cups of flour, all purpose. And then it's 2 cups of sugar. And then one of the things I love about this recipe is then you just start adding like your salt and your baking soda. If you make this recipe, it's super important for you to use really fresh baking soda. Like, I almost want to say get yourself a new box every time you make it. Because if you don't, sometimes it doesn't rise very well. All right, so 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then you're going to put in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you're going to put in 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. I know, isn't he great? And then 1 teaspoon of salt.
I was falling down on my job.
No, you're good. Okay. And then we're going to mix this up real well. Where is mine?
So Annie, when you're making 500 of those, how in the world do you do that?
I know, right? 9 loaves at a time in my oven. Okay.
In a neighbor's oven, and then another neighbor's oven.
Yeah. We actually, the last time we tried to do it, we did it at a bakery, and I didn't have control over the recipe very well, and so it didn't turn out. And so I was like, oh gosh. Anyway, it was a little tricky. So,
what do you think makes it different than the others you've tried?
I'm going to show you. So the secret ingredient and the thing that makes it different is 2 boxes of vanilla pudding. And what I've done is, in any of my sweetbread recipes that I ever do, if the recipe doesn't call for pudding, I'll put it in because it makes it extra moist. So then you add in the pudding mix.
Was that just an experiment that you tried, or what made you think of that? Where did that come from?
No, I saw this recipe, oh my gosh, 20, 25 years ago, and I adjusted it a little bit, but I knew that the thing about it that was just special was the pudding. So it makes so much sense, right? Put pudding in it. It makes it so good. Can y'all see that? Can you hand me that spatula again? Okay. So then what you do is, once you get this all mixed up, then you're going to put it in your pans. And honestly, I don't really ever put it in a big pan because I find that it kind of falls in the middle if you put it in a really big pan. And so I use this all the time. So this one recipe will make 5 of these. And then what I take to the teachers is this size, and it makes like 16 of these, this recipe. So you put it in the oven at 350, and when you're making it like this size, or if you ever wanted to make like muffins, it's like 30 minutes. And then this one is more like 40 or 45, okay? Now the one last thing I want to share, because we've got some samples, Brittany and Melissa are going to bring these out to you, is if you'll see our shirts, so many of you guys know our story, I can do hard things and stronger every day. So do you want to tell everybody who doesn't know just a little piece of your story?
This story could take me 30 minutes to share, but I'll do it in about 5. So in April of 14, late that month, the 28th, I suffered a cerebellar stroke. And if you know anything about cerebellar stroke, it really knocks you out.
It doesn't look like a regular stroke.
It doesn't.
So his side there was no weakness and slurring of speech. It was just incredible dizziness and a lot of vomiting. That was what it looked like. So
it happened about 9:30 at night, 9:30 at night. I have a few memories of that night, but I really don't remember anything until Sunday. I was taken to the hospital twice, misdiagnosed twice. The third time, the doctor found it. Life flighted me from Shelby to Princeton, and at Princeton they had to drill a hole in my head because this stroke is the cause of hydrocephalus. It allows fluid to build on your brain, push your brain down into your brain stem, and once it goes too far, you stop breathing. So they found it soon enough to drill a hole, release the pressure, and I was in neuro ICU for 6 days. But let me preface that with this. As I'm being wheeled into the operation room, Annie's like, okay, Dr. O'Malley, how long do you anticipate him being here? A week or so? And he said, you don't understand. He'll be here at least 6 weeks. That's if he leaves.
if he makes it.
If I make it. So through the grace of a loving Heavenly Father, a wonderful wife, and some really good friends praying for me, I was able to pull through. 6 days in neuro ICU, went to rehab at Lakeshore for a week.
Yeah, only a week.
And as we're leaving that rehab, my charge nurse, Rosemary, gave Annie a hug and whispered in her ear and said, "Stronger every day." And that's where this mantra comes from. She found I can do hard things through a talk that she had heard, remembered it, and that's a whole different story itself.
Right.
But we added Stronger every day, and it's been something that I've leaned on, both of them actually, during the recovery process, learning how to walk, being able to stand up straight, being able to communicate properly. So, do you want to tell them about that, what you did when you came home that night?
No.
First of all, that deserves a hallelujah and a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is incredible.
Well, and we started sharing on our Facebook page, not just cooking, but Stronger every day and I can do hard things. And it was always just our hope to be able to spread that message. And so we do. And it's amazing the feedback and the people that just share that through anything in their life, they've been able to do hard things. So anyway, and so many of you guys are here that love and support us, and we just love you. So if you're not following us and would like to follow us, we are on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest and all the places. YouTube, Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. So anyway, and I can't say enough. Janice, you may not know, but there are so many faces here that follow us, and we are so grateful, and so many of you guys have come from a long way away. So I don't know where we're at with samples.
Have you handed any out yet?
If you...
Okay.
Okay, if you would like another one, I didn't realize maybe I should be making all these bigger samples. I had no idea. So if you would like another one, please raise your hand and get another one because we don't need to take it home. All right, and we're going to be right over here. We would love to meet you. We would love, if you have a cookbook that you want us to sign, we will sign it. We do have our cookbooks over here. We have 4 cookbooks out, and you can, we'll sign them or do whatever you would like. Anybody have a question? I think we have like 5 more minutes.
You have a question? Right here?
Right.
Go ahead.
Right here.
Right there.
Oh, you want a sample? Y'all want samples? Okay.
sample.
No question, sample.
All right.
Right behind you.
All right, I'm coming. All right.
Can you freeze that?
Can you freeze it?
the pumpkin?
Yes, it freezes really, really well. It freezes real well.
All right,
Yeah.
what's your question?
If adding the pudding to other recipes, do you need to add more liquid, or is just putting the pudding in there along with another recipe okay?
You're just going to add pudding.
No
So
other-
are you saying if you had like banana bread and you wanted to, yeah, just add it dry? 2 small boxes. Yeah.
Anybody else with a question?
Okay. All right, love you guys.
Hey, what an inspiration, Annie and Daryl. Thank you both so much. God bless you both.
All right, thanks once again to Annie McDaniel from Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen. She'll be around and go by, say hi, and ask questions and all those things. Coming up at noon, Danna Standridge, author of Happiness is Homemade, Y'all, will be up on our cooking stage. Also, if you have not finished your giveaway card for the birthday bingo, make sure you do that. We're giving away some more items coming up right at noon. So make sure you do that as well. We've got some folks mingling around. Feel free to go see our exhibitors. Over on the other side, we've got Kevin Derryberry bringing us some great tunes. The cows from Chick-fil-A are wandering around. We also have some special guests from the Miss Senior World pageants immediately to my right. Come by, say hi, get a picture taken. I bet you they'd be happy with the picture. There you go. All right. So coming up, our next person on the cooking stage at noon today is Danna Standridge, author of Happiness is Homemade, Y'all. Let's thank once again all of our vendors, our exhibitors here today, and our title sponsor, Benton Nissan, for making this whole event possible. Thank you to everyone that's a part of this event. We'll be back in just a few more minutes for our next cooking demonstration and to give away some free stuff. Hey, you know, Christmas has a knack of sneaking up on us. You know, it's the 25th of December every single year, but yet we always act like we're surprised by it. So if you're looking for a great gift idea for someone, or even yourself because you deserve it, be sure to stop by Paparazzi Jewelry, Blue Feather Candle, and Brenda Williams' Mary Kay booth. They can help you out with all of those gifts. We are moments away from our next giveaway, and don't forget, our next chef on the celebrity chef stage from Sweet Grown, Alabama, is Danna Standridge, author of Happiness is Homemade, y'all. She'll be up in just a few minutes, so start making your way this way. Okay, let's give away some free stuff. It's time for some more winners from the birthday bingo that we're drawing. First, let me go through some folks from the last round that have not picked up their prizes yet. Just give them another shot at getting this. The signed cookbook from Kay Marie, Knocking Out Cancer in the Kitchen, one recipe at a time, was Chloe Nam. One leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama. Brooke Thompson was the winner there. A dinner for two from Cayo Coco Restaurant. Danny Burns. And finally, the $100 Walmart gift card, courtesy of Way FM, Megan Drenner. Those are the folks from the last round that have not claimed their prizes. But I have a whole new crop of stuff to give away. So our next item is a Children's of Alabama coffee cup and cup holders. That's going to Sydney Bruce. Sydney Bruce, is that you? All right. There you go. Winner, winner. Our next winner, a collection of 4 cookbooks from Miss Annie, including her latest one, Simply 6. Erin Tran. Erin Tran won the collection of 4 cookbooks from Miss Annie. a $50 gift card to Mark's Outdoors, Jim Atherton. Jim Atherton is the winner on that one. Number 4, a signed copy of Danna Standridge's cookbook, Happiness is Homemade, Y'all. Marquetta Fingius. I probably butchered that last name, but you get there. And finally, 2 tickets, a $200 value to to Cirque de Soleil Song Blazers tomorrow at 4:30. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. It's fine. At 4:30 at the BJCC. That's Rose Granero. Rose Granero. So once again, we're looking for Sydney Bruce, Aaron Tran, Jim Atherton. Well, Sydney Bruce, we're not looking for you anymore. You got your stuff. Don't come back up here. Aaron Tran, Jim Atherton, Marquetta Frangias, and Rose Granero. If you see one of those folks, point them this way. Now we're getting ready on the Sweet Grown Alabama stage for our next celebrity chef. This is Danna Standridge, author of Happiness is Homemade, Y'all. Janice Rogers, take it away.
All right, well, we love Danna on Good Day Alabama. She is one of our regular chefs that we get the honor of having come on. So, hey, you guys, if you can hear us, we have another chef getting ready to start if you want to make your way on over. And this is a good one. She, and you've heard the name of her book, Happiness is Homemade, Y'all. Mm-hmm. And so tell folks, Danna, where that came from.
Where this came from? Well, Happiness is Homemade, y'all, came from my family. We always cook and feed each other to show love. And if you eat any of my stuff today that I brought, we're going to be cousins after that. So I'm expanding my family. But this is tried and true, down through the generations cooking.
So where did it come from? Just learning from family?
Yeah, learning from family. I have my Nanny Swan's chicken and dumplings. These are the real thing in here. If you can't master chicken and dumplings, you will after you read my directions on how to do it. If you want the best turkey at Thanksgiving of your life, I got it in here. My Nanny Swan did that as well. But today we're doing a recipe from Granny Campbell, and it's going to be a tart apple crisp.
And you're using Granny Smith apples.
Granny Smith apples.
All right, you ready to walk us through it?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, Danna Standridge, everybody.
And don't y'all love Janice? Y'all give her a hand. We love Janice. And I got to tell y'all something about Janice before we get started. My daddy and mother adore her and watch her every day. And so Janice was nice enough to talk to my dad on the phone a while ago. He's in his 80s, and it just made his day. So thank you, Janice. Well, look, y'all, we're going to do a tart apple crisp. Now, it's fall. We got to get ready to use our apples. First of all, I want to know if y'all like apple desserts, raise your hand. Who likes them? Who's my people out there? Okay. Well, I love apple desserts, and I love an apple pie because it's all American. But you know what? Sometimes I don't want to do all that stuff to the crust. So what do? I pull out my apples and I make a tart apple crisp. And when I say tart, the reason it's tart is because I use Granny Smith apples. Now, do y'all have a local orchard near you that sells apples out of their orchards? If you don't, y'all need to come on up to Blount County, which is where I'm from, and go to Hazel Rig Orchard. Because at Hazel Rig Orchard, these apples that I made this with were in the orchard not long ago. They picked them and brought them in, washed them real good, and we have got beautiful apples. So I'm going to show you real quickly how to do the tart apple crisp. And I'm going to tell you, I peel my apples the old-fashioned way, the way my granny did it, the way my nanny did it, the way my mama did it. But I have some of those gadgets. Now, if y'all got apple gadgets, raise your hand. We've about all got them. And I've used them before, and they work. But I'm just going to tell you, I've been doing this forever. What is it my daddy says? Since Moby Dick was a minnow, I've been doing this. So I can do it pretty fast this way. So I just tell you, you're going to need 6 to 8 apples, and get you a 12 by whatever size this is. Y'all, what size is this pan? 11 by 13, I know. Thank you, whoever said that. Y'all, are y'all good? Because y'all are not wiggling or smiling. There's one lady in the back. Thank you for smiling. I appreciate it. Y'all, it's a pretty day. We got to be happy. Give me a little smile. Come on, y'all. All right. Now, y'all know I have a happy heart. Even when things are not going great, I still smile. I used to be a high school teacher. Are any of y'all retired teachers out there? Oh, yeah. Bless you. I know what you've been through. But if you're like me, you adored your students. But some days you would just come home and be tuckered out, and not want to talk to anybody. But even on days that would be a trying day in the classroom, I would have students say, Miss Standridge, we never can tell when you're mad. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And I mean, doesn't my stern voice sound stern? And they're like, but you're smiling when you say it. And I was like, oh, well, I couldn't help it. I was born smiling. I'm still smiling. So, are any of y'all that way? Nod if you are. No. Okay. Now, see, when I was in my classroom, I did interactive things. And one of the first things they would do, if I said, hello, class, they always had to say, hello, Miss Standridge. So I'm not going to make y'all do that, but they would do that. It was nice. And you know what grade they were in? Like 9th through 12th. These were big kids, and they were awesome. And I want to thank today one of the most wonderful people in my life that is here helping me, and it's my daughter, Lana. Y'all give Lana a hand. She's a teacher also, and I just don't know, but y'all know yesterday was Friday the 13th. Did y'all know that? And bless her heart, and then y'all saw the news, didn't you? All these schools were having issues with these false situations going on, and they were no exception. So yesterday was a stressful day for teachers, and you teachers out there, y'all know, don't you? But anyway, we need good teachers, so if you're feeling it, just go ahead and hit that classroom. I loved mine. People used to ask me why I taught high school, and I'm like, because I love them. What's not to love? They're just big old first graders that step on your feet occasionally. That's them. I had a good class. But let me tell you a little bit about these apples. Fresh from the farm, you're going to love them. This is a very easy apple recipe to do. I have made this over and over and given it to a lot of people. But let me ask you about your apple memories. Did any of you grow up with a grandmother that dried her own apples? Now, I want to see a hand. Whose grandmother dried their own apples? Oh my goodness, mine did. Did y'all do like I did and sneak out there and eat them? I know. And you know what my grandmother did so that we would eat them? She would say, don't bother my apples now, kids. Don't bother my apples. And we're like, we won't. And then we'd run out there and grab us some off of there. It was so good. My granny and my grandpa, they were farm to table. And have been forever, just like their families taught them to do, farm to table. So we did everything farm to table. I mean, tell me if you've done this. Grandpa would go out there and plow up the potatoes, and we'd get barefoot, me and my 2 sisters, and we would go picking up those potatoes. He would turn the ground, and that was some of the coolest dirt on your feet. Now, if any of y'all did that, raise your hand. I know! Wasn't it great? And then we'd pile them in the cellar, and we'd had to pile them in a certain way, and they would keep all year, and we'd eat them all year. It was so wonderful having that in my past. Did any of y'all, now, I'm just going to say, y'all know we used to do this. My family did. We would process our own meat. Did any of y'all process your own meat? I know. My grandpa would take me outside and take me to pet the hogs. Okay. Did any of y'all do that? Okay, he would get me up and say, you want to go pet the hogs? And I'm like, yes, I do. So he'd take me out there and I'd pet them, and they were big old things and always hungry. And I'd go pet them, and then it wasn't long through the years, I would realize they'd be there one week, and the next week they'd be gone. I'm like, well, where are they? Well, and then I got old enough to go to the days we processed the pigs. And I just got to tell y'all, it took me a little while to get over that, but
I did, and I enjoy a good pork chop just like everybody else. But when I realized that I had those hogs I was petting was what we were eating, it took me a few months, but I was fine with it after a while. But we would have the processing where we made our own sausage. Did y'all do that? Who did that? You made your own sausage and you would have it piled up on the table real big. I know it, I know. And my family would do that and get their hands in it, and then they would cook us some, and we would see if the spices were right. Oh yeah, we did all that. And I wouldn't trade anything for it. And at the time, you know, not that many people did that, but now everybody's trying to get back to doing that. But I would like to thank Sweet Grown Alabama. If y'all see this, you can see that I'm one of their ambassadors. I'm honored to be one of their ambassadors. And one thing I do is talk about farmers. Now, we have cattle. Are any of y'all farmers out here? You a farmer? Your mom is. What do y'all have? Cows and horses. That is awesome. Okay, y'all, I'm about to get through with this, and we're going to move on with the recipe. But anyway, if you don't know what Sweet Grown Alabama is, I'm about to tell you. Sweet Grown Alabama is a database. It's a website. Wherever you live in Alabama, if you want apples, you get on that website, type in apples, put your zip code, and it will tell you exactly where you need to go to get you some fresh apples. These apples right here came, as I said, from Hazelrig Orchard, and we're about to turn these into this beautiful tart apple crisp. Okay, it won't take long. Yes, you do. I got all these samples right here. Well, so the first thing you got to do is get your apples. Okay, so I sprayed this, got my apples in it, and I am wanting this to be tart, so I used a Granny Smith. Now, y'all, the apples I have over there in a basket, I have 6 different varieties of apples. If you want to grab you a fresh apple from the orchard, I've got them over there, but these are Granny Smith. The first thing you got to do after you get all that done is pull out a little cinnamon. And when I see my cinnamon, I will use it. There we go. You need a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon on the top of these apples. Y'all, this is easy, I'm telling y'all. And if y'all tell anybody how easy this is, I'm going to be upset. But it's easy. It's easy. And we're going to get, now the recipe, if you just want regular tart, just go ahead and do that. But I'm an extra tart girl, so I always add a little bit of lemon juice. Just the juice of 1/2 lemon. Oh yeah, y'all, this is gonna be so good. I can't wait for y'all to taste it. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got that done, and then we've got to put some sugar on it. Come on, we're gonna put some, which sugar? This sugar. Now this is 2 cups of sugar, but you only need 1 because I didn't know if I needed extra. So I'm gonna put 1 cup of sugar on this. I know, what's not to love? And then we gotta start doing the topping. Now this is all you have to do on the bottom. I'm telling you the truth. My granny wouldn't lead us wrong. You're gonna need some butter that's room temperature so you can mash it up real easy. And it is softened butter, and this has no salt in it. But now if you want to use salted butter, y'all use it. If that's the only thing between you and making this, you just pull it on out. It'll be fine. I've made it with both. And then we're going to need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And dump that in there. And then you're going to need 1 cup of flour. And this is self-rising flour. And this is what, just dump it in. Now, y'all, does it get any easier than that? And y'all, I don't know if y'all have one of these, and I just discovered one of these. You got one? Do you use it all the time? Me too. This is a chop and stir, and I just love it. But now you can use a pastry thing, or you can use, you know, whatever. Your hands. I'm going to get in there with my hands in just a minute. But y'all, you've got to crumble this up, just like you're doing a crust. And this is the crumble. So, who came the farthest? How many people here drove over 50 miles? Ooh, a lot of you. How many drove over 60? Ooh, how many? 70? Okay, 80. 80? Okay, 90? Okay, how far did you drive? I can't hear you. Oh, she's from Tennessee, Pulaski, Tennessee. Where are you from? Okay, I heard Tennessee, but not the first one. Shelbyville, Tennessee. Where are you guys from? Okay, didn't hear that at all. Did y'all hear it? 150 miles. Oh my, y'all are, all of three of y'all are first in line, okay? First in line. You're 152, okay? Well, you're first in line too. All right, y'all, we're getting this done. Let me pay attention to this. Y'all, thank you for coming and watching today. I really appreciate it. I love cooking for people. And like I said, if you eat any of this, then we're cousins. And you can say, my cousin Danna, she cooks. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I was lucky enough to get to cook with Miss Paula Dean a few weeks ago. Did any of y'all see that? Oh, it was a dream come true for me. She is the sweetest. And I'm just going to tell you, I had a great time. And didn't know if David had to go with me. David's my husband, and he went with me. And I thought, oh, what will he do while I'm doing all this cooking? So they had him holding some of the cameras, which was fine. But he hit it off with Michael, Paula's husband, because they're both deer hunters. Are any of y'all deer hunters? You are? You do everything, don't you? Well, so we had to go take all these pictures of the different deer heads. If you're a deer hunter, you know what that means. It's important. Okay. But anyway, it was great. If y'all hadn't seen that, y'all can go to Facebook or YouTube and watch any of that. All right, here we go. Let's wrap this up. We got this all mixed together, and we just start dropping it over the top. This is so easy. Oh, yeah. And y'all, you got your oven cranked up to 350. Make sure it's preheated and ready to go. And let me get this off my fingers. There we go. My hands are clean, folks. My hands are clean. I always make sure of that. All right. That's what it looks like before it goes in. And after it comes out, normally at this point I would go to the sink and work on myself, but this is what it is. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we're going to eat. We pull it out, and this is what that looks like. This is the tart apple crisp. So easy. You cook it for 1 hour. You pull it out, let it cool off, get you some ice cream, honey, and you are set. Okay? Very good. Do y'all want a bite? Okay. Now, I told y'all I was going to cook for y'all on some of my videos, and I have. I've got all of this up here. Who are my people that drove so far? Y'all come on up and grab one. And just make a line, folks, because once they're gone, they're gone. But here they are. Y'all, follow me on Facebook or YouTube, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. There you go, sweetheart. Of course you can.
I saw you last year.
Yes, I remember you. Y'all, my book's for sale over here for $25. Y'all go visit, grab an apple. Y'all, the apples from Hazel Rig Orchard are free. They send them for you. And y'all, there's some out there. Just go ahead and grab some. I hope y'all like it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. There you go, folks. Oh, I hope I got enough. If not, we're going to dig into this. Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I dressed like an apple today. Yes, a green apple. Y'all come on, babies. We just got a few more. Oh, no, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I need a plate. Oh, you like it? Yay.
Do you need some plates? Is that what you said?
If anybody's got plates, I could dip up this one right here. Y'all, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Let me go get a plate, okay? And I'll get some spoons.
Hey, do we have any?
Wait, I'm sweating. Okay.
Anybody have any?
I know. Hang on a minute. Y'all don't leave. Don't leave, okay? Okay. Well, my spoons are back there. Hang on, hang on.
Let him dig in. Say no double dipping. I usually have less. I don't have. No double
Y'all hang on. We're going to make this work one way or the other.
Y'all all want to be my cousin, right? Okay, come on, come on. Look, y'all, we're going to put these on a napkin, and here's the spoons. Hey, sweetie, you want some? Okay. You like the middle or edge? Oh, honey, I love that. You and me both. That edge is mine, always mine. Okay, sorry it's on a napkin, but I ran out of stuff. There you go. Yeah, we got some. There you go. Grab you a spoon, baby. You got one? Okay. Now, see, I'm a happy girl when people are eating my food. Y'all just don't know how happy it makes me. Here's you a spoon. Here, baby.
What do you say? Say thank you.
Ooh, yeah. How are you, buddy?
Isn't that good, y'all?
I like your shirt.
Be better even warm, wouldn't it? Could you imagine it warm?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You are a busy lady.
Has anybody got any questions while you're sampling?
Okay, there you go. Anybody else? I've got a little bit left.
You got a question?
I've got 3 spoons left. 3, yes. There you go.
So, Danna, while you're doing that, why don't you tell them more about Sweet Grown Alabama and how you were the ambassador for the year?
Oh, yeah, Sweet Grown Alabama. And Miss Ellie right here is over Sweet Grown. Y'all give her a hand. What you need, baby? Some more of this? Okay.
I didn't get any.
Oh, you didn't get any? Well, my goodness. I'll give you a good dollop of it.
I got 2, but one for my wife.
You would need another one, you say?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Sweet Grown Alabama is, like I said before, there's a website, and all of the farmers and people that do produce in the state of Alabama, if you want their produce, like let's say for instance, if strawberries, it's time for strawberries, and you want your freshest strawberries and not some that's been bouncing around in a truck from all across the nation, if you want fresh Alabama strawberries, you get on their website, sweetgrownalabama.org, and you put in your zip code and say what you're looking for, strawberries, and then all these farms will pop up and you'll know where you need to go to get your strawberries, okay? So it's really good. If you want pork or beef or milk or cheese, and they even have things like cotton, things made from cotton. If any of you saw me with Paula Dean, you saw that Sweet Grown sent her a beautiful basket, and it had all kind of honey and things like that from Alabama in it, and it had this candle. Do you remember the candle? They have sold so many of those candles, and it was from Sweet Bees, and I've got one of them, I love it. But anyway, all that stuff's Alabama products. They also have sheets and cotton and things like that. If you go with Red Lane cotton, that cotton is grown in Alabama. And I have some of the things from Red Lane Cotton. I bought the sheets, and I got some of the pajamas and all that kind of stuff. So I'm telling you, if you want to support Alabama farmers, you can do that by going to sweetgrownalabama.org. So I'm all about that. And my husband, we raise cattle, so we're all about that. Do y'all have any more questions? Anybody? I live in Hayden. Well, actually, I live in the country between Cleveland and Hayden, if that makes any sense. And I'm out in the country. You're familiar with the county? Okay, good. Very good. Where are you from? Jasper. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, if you ever do venture up to Blount County, which is where I live, we are known for our covered bridges. And in October, we have the Covered Bridge Festival, so we have several covered bridges you can come see and different things like that, and we would love to have y'all in the county as well. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my husband. My husband is David Standridge, and he's not with me here today because my daughter's with me, but he's the state representative for District 34, which is Blount County. So when I'm not in the kitchen doing this and cooking and doing my, what I call my ministry, then I'm also with him, and I'm his assistant in Montgomery, so then I have to put on the heels and the pearls and go sit through meetings and things like that. So I'm really blessed that I get to do a wide variety of different things. And when I get to go to different places, I try to put it on my Facebook site because a lot of people can't get out of their houses now, or they're lonely, or they want to check in and see what Danna's doing today. So that is some of the stuff that I do, and I feel like it's a ministry from God. And, oh, I'm not going to tear up. I feel like it's a ministry from God, and I try to make I try to be his ambassador every day, everywhere I am. And I hope that you can feel his love coming through me to you, because that's what this is all about. And you know I love you if I cook for you. And by the way, I have about, 50 new cousins now. So yay, we're cousins. You've eaten my food. All right, I'm going to tell you what I always tell you at the end of one of my posts. I say, the good Lord, he loves you a lot, and I love you too, and thank you for joining me in the kitchen, and love and blessings to you. Bye now.
Danna Standridge, everybody. To know her is to love her.
Thank you, Janice.
All right, y'all hang around if you can, and I will have another chef coming up in just a minute.
That's right. But in the meantime, I've got a couple of announcements to make. First off, if you are feeling a little hungry, maybe the apple crisp was just enough to get your appetite going. We've got some food vendors outside. Eugene's Hot Chicken and Little Bougie Foodie are out front ready to help you get some lunch. Also, we've got some options. If you're looking for a good read, you can meet local authors and have a chance to get a signed copy of their books, including Mark White, my good friend Mark White, who's back there against the wall, Corey McKinney, and many of our celebrity chefs. They all have books out as well, so you can pick up a gift for somebody. You can pick up some personal reading and make that a part of your life. We should all read more. That's just my personal thought. We should all read more. We should also win more stuff. You want to give away some more stuff? Let's give away some more stuff. All right. This is, of course, part of the birthday bingo competition that we have. I'm looking at, I see some of our already winners. Glad you stuck around even after you won something. We've got some things that have not been claimed yet, so let me hit those first. The signed cookbook from Kay Marie, Knocking Out Cancer in the Kitchen, one recipe at a time. Chloe Nam is the winner there. One leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama. Brooke Thompson won that. A dinner for two from Cayo Coco. Danny Burns is the winner there. And a $100 Walmart gift card courtesy of WayFM, Megan Drenner. A signed copy of Danna Standridge's cookbook, Happiness is Homemade, Y'all. Marquetta Fingius is the winner on that one. And 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil Song Blazers tomorrow. See, I didn't even stumble on that one. Killed it. $200 value. That's for tomorrow night's performance at 4:30 at the BJCC. Rose Granero is the winner on that one. So those are the folks who have not picked up their prizes yet. Let's get to some new business, okay? 2 tickets to the Birmingham Barons playoff game on Thursday, September 19th. That's Ashley Thornton. She's so shocked! I never win anything, says Ashley. Now you're a winner. 1 Sweet Grown Alabama gift bag, Corbelt Coats. Corbelt Coats is the winner of 1 Sweet Grown Alabama gift bag. A signed cookbook from Grits and Gouda's Kathleen Phillips called Magic Cakes. By the way, she's up next on our stage here, so if you're sticking around, that should be great. The winner here is Tangelia Marshall. Tangelia Marshall. 2 Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen Cookbooks, a collection of Southern favorites and Mama Sue's Southern recipes. The winner on that one is Brenda Martin. Brenda Martin. And finally, a full case of Bud's Best cookies. That's so many cookies. You could pour them into a bowl and eat them as if they were cereal. So many cookies. Joey Marshy is the winner on that one. Joey Marshy. If you're one of our winners, come by the table here. We'll hook you up with your prize. And we do have another drawing coming up in 30 minutes. So if you have not completed your birthday bingo card, go by and take care of that with all haste so that we can get you in on that next giveaway. Make that happen. As we wait on our next chef to get ready, next chef is Kathleen Phillips of Grits and Gouda. She will be up here on the Sweet Grown Alabama chef stage in just a few minutes. But while you're waiting, feel free to walk around, check out our exhibitors. Thanks again to Benton Nissan, our title sponsor this year. And also, if you're looking to improve your health, if you're ready to be healthier, we've got you covered. Go by and visit the booths for the Children's of Alabama and Strickland Counseling. Plus, stop by Dare to Be Healthy, Urgent Care for Children, Physicians Care Walk-in Clinics, Body Bar Pilates. I've never done Pilates. I don't know that I'm bendy enough. Nobody wants to see that. And Stillwater's Counseling, along with Reignite Chiropractic, Shakely and Addiction Prevention Coalition, all right here inside the exhibit arena. Go by and check out all of our exhibitors. They are what makes this event possible, and we are so glad you're here for the 5th annual Celebrate the Family Expo.
Y'all didn't have that
No, we didn't
before?
have that last
Oh my
year.
God, that really changes it.
It does. I love it.
And they can really see what they're...
Yes.
Yes, I can see. You're in trouble now. Doggone it, that old work thing.
You live close by here, don't you?
I do. I live right down the street.
That's good.
Yeah.
My girlfriend lives in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it's real convenient.
It is.
Yeah, if I'm asked to do a speaking engagement and anybody says Hoover, I'm like, yep,
Oh,
I'm all about it.
I love it.
But then it'll usually be, this is at the garage downtown Birmingham, blah, blah. You know,
Just a quick reminder, our next celebrity chef on the Sweet Grown Alabama stage is Miss Kathleen Phillips of Grits and Gouda. Gritsandgouda.com. I'm sorry. That internet stuff is just a fad. It's good, yeah. She'll be getting started momentarily, so start making your way this way to the sweetgrownalabama.org celebrity chef stage. You know, while Kathleen gets finished getting set up, I've got a few of these T-shirts over here that I've been encouraged to throw out to people. And I've never done this without a T-shirt gun, which, by the way, those are awesome. But right now, I guess the gun you've got is my arm. I've got a small. Who wants a small? Small? They don't fly very well, do they? I've got a large. Who wears a large? Who hasn't won anything that needs a large? It's going right to you, okay? Sorry, you got to work for it.
What does he do
No. I've got squishy football. Who are you? Oh! Sign her up!
No doubt.
Right. More squishy footballs? Oh, so close. Oh, I think the bounce helped you. I'll throw more things haphazardly and dangerously into the crowd in a few minutes.
Hello. Hi.
Are you about ready?
Yes, I just wanted to say hello.
Yeah. You ready or you need a minute?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Sitting on ready.
All right, it's Kathleen Phillips, everybody, from gritsandgouda.com. Another regular chef on Good Day, Alabama, has been for years. 7 years she's been cooking on Good Day, so we know a lot of her wonderful recipes. So as kind of indicated, she takes great recipes and does a shortcut for us. And so you kind of found a niche with that, didn't you?
Yes. Your favorite traditional Southern recipe, and I'll tell you how to shortcut it so you can enjoy it faster.
I mean, because I think we all get intimidated with a long list of things that you need to do in a recipe, right?
Yes.
And so with yours, you don't have to. Gritsandgouda.com, what does that mean?
So grits and Gouda. Grits represents Southern. I am short and Southern, and so are my recipes. The Gouda is a little bit pinch of gourmet because I did work in the Southern Living Cookbook Test Kitchen. It's what brought me here to Alabama. So I can cook gourmet, but Southern is the way I go all the way, most of the time.
She was actually the director in the kitchen there at
Oxmoor House.
Yeah, and so she has done a lot of things and come up with a lot of recipes and tried a lot of things. Okay, so this one, how did you pick this one for today?
All right, so this is peanut butter sheet cake with homemade peanut butter icing. I picked it because I am a peanut butter lover. How many peanut butter lovers do we have?
You better be right.
And also, the Alabama Peanut Producers Association is a Sweet Grown Alabama member, so it was a perfect marriage for today.
All right, so we're going to get underway, but she actually does her own cooking show live at the end of October this year.
Holiday cooking show.
Yeah, and so she has a great audience there, so if you're ever interested in checking that out, she'll tell you more about that. But you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right, Kathleen Phillips, gritsandgouda.com.
Thank you very much. And y'all, don't we love Janice? Has she gotten a hand yet? We love her. I am on WBRC Studio every second Tuesday of the month, 8:45, and I get to cook with Janice or Mike Dubberly in the kitchen, and it is so much fun. I want to tell you that she looks nice and friendly. Y'all, she is the genuine thing. I know it's not about you, but she's the genuine thing. She truly is a great person. So let's get to cooking. So my recipes on gritsandgouda.com, again, are all shortcuts. When you go to the website, there'll be a little box that says shortcuts. So I kind of tell you right up front what the shortcuts are for that recipe. Today, couple shortcuts is it starts with a cake mix, but you won't be able to tell, and uses a box of powdered sugar, but one of the things I say is use what you have. If you don't have a box, it is a little more expensive. If you want to measure out your own, then I tell you exactly how much powdered sugar is in this box in my recipe. So, and you will not find long ingredients in my recipes either. So the first thing we're going to do, and I have this little cooktop here. First thing we're going to do is first you're going to ignore the cake mix directions on the box. Throw it out the window. I'm going to tell you how to distribute the ingredients better. There's a little bit of butter packaging there. So the recipe says to use a microwave. Well, that was a little bit hard to lug up here. So I'm going to show you how to use it, make sure everybody can see it, even if you don't have a microwave or you would rather use a stovetop. In the microwave, I tell you to cut your stick of butter into 4 pieces in the microwave. Do you know why?
in the microwave, it tends to explode. But if you cut that stick of butter into 4 pieces, it distributes it more. I know that's food science, but I'm telling you that that is why you do it, and it won't explode in the microwave. So we're melting the butter. I'm going to put that on low so I can keep talking. So the cake part of it uses creamy peanut butter. And now I just happen to have a measuring cup that is 2/3 cup, but you can also, now if I throw that, someone catch it and bring it back, okay? Will you bring it to me? All right, so this is 2/3 cup. Now, I brought this container of peanut butter that I have to scrape to get for a reason. Well, the first reason is I really do use that much peanut butter. I have lots of recipes using peanut and peanut butter on the blog, but I want to show you a trick in just a second. Some scraping. Now, you know, there is a difference in wet and dry measuring cups also. This is a dry measuring cup, so this is 2/3 cup all the way across the top. Now, my friends at Alabama Peanut Producers Association, they have these fun little scrapers they give out at their trade shows when there's just a little bit of peanut butter left. Look at that shape right there. It's going to get down in there in that shape and get all the last little bit of the peanut butter. So I'm going to get the peanut butter in here with the butter and the milk, and then I'm going to, don't let me forget, I'm going to come back and tell you I'm about to give one of these away. Everybody like door prizes? All right, so I'm going to scrape this in. And I have gloves on because I'm about to crack eggs, and it's easy cleanup. So we got 2/3 cup creamy peanut butter and a half a cup of butter, which is a stick of butter. And then I'm going to put my milk in here. You know, I did work in the test kitchen for full-time 10 years. Part-time 1 or 2 days a week for 10 years. So our second child was born with special needs, spina bifida. So I was the director of the test kitchen, and we decided I needed a little bit more flexible job. I needed to be available for doctor appointments. So we decided that I would work as a food stylist for the kitchens 1 or 2 days a week, and then I would become a caterer. Not a wedding caterer. Whoo, I admire them. It's more like businesses and lunches. So I do have a food science background, so if I get a little too food sciencey, someone just raise your hand and say, move on. But I do love that part of it. So I added the milk. I said all that to say I added the milk in there with my warmed ingredients because when I add the cold eggs in it, those cold eggs are going to seize up the butter, and that, if I'd add the milk in there, it would have seized up the butter. So I'm going to turn that off. So I'm going to stir this. So again, think microwave. In that recipe, I tell you to microwave these ingredients in your bowl so you have one bowl. I have recipes like 1 bowl lemon blueberry squash muffins. Did y'all catch the squash? Yellow squash shredded acts like zucchini in zucchini bread, except the yellow squash in the lemon muffins, you can't see it. Again, all done in one bowl, and I have a banana bread recipe in one bowl. So now I am going to transfer this. Just imagine we just did that in the microwave. All right. So the next thing, see, can y'all see that? All right. Yummy, warm. So now you're going to add 1/3 cup of oil. Remember I told you to ignore the cake mix directions because the cake mix directions tell you just basically throw it all in there and mix it up. And again, another shortcut is you don't see an electric mixer here, right? These are going to have the texture of a peanut butter brownie, so you don't need to whip air into it. So the next thing is 2 large eggs. Now, y'all, look at these gorgeous eggs. These are from another Sweet Grown Alabama member, Drip Spring Hollow Farms. got to meet them when I was one of the first Sweet Grown Alabama ambassadors. So I got to meet them and all of their girls, their chickens in the farm, out in the yard. These are gorgeous, and they are located in the McCalla area. So we are going to add 2 large eggs. Now remember, the oil has sort of cooled down this mixture, so the eggs are not going to curdle or cook. Now I hope you can see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of do this right here to kind of get it blended a tiny bit. Then I'm going to mix it up. So the cake mix tells you just to throw it all in there. Lots of times the egg white will just kind of swirl around, and when you bake your cake, you might get some of the egg white in there. All right, sir. Stir it all up. Don't forget the vanilla to gild the lily. Oh, gild the lily. Who knows what gild the lily means? I'm about to tell you. See my holiday cooking show right here, the sign? So every year, this is our 7th year, I do a holiday cooking show with holiday style shortcut recipes, and it benefits my husband and son's nonprofit. Remember I told you my son was born with spina bifida? Well, he's now 25, owns his own home, hunts and fishes, and he just got married last weekend. But when he was a teenager, he wanted to go hunting. And my husband back there, my helper, Grayson was getting too heavy to put on his back to take him hunting. So we raised money to buy him one of those tank chairs. Y'all heard about it? Looks like a tank to get outdoors. But I sold like 700 dozen of my Mississippi mud brownies to help raise money for that. Now, where I'm going with that is gild the lily. At the holiday cooking show, and Janice knows this, she has been to the holiday cooking show and been on stage with me before. Gild the lily means to take something wonderful, perfect, yummy, like gold, and go over the top. So you see where I'm going with this? We're going to gild the lily on the recipe and put sprinkled peanuts on top. When my audience, we limit it to 200 and we sell out every time, when they catch me saying gild the lily, they scream, raise their hand, gild the lily. The first one, the volunteers swarm and they give them a door prize. So whoever catches me saying next, I'm going to give you one of those Alabama peanut producers peanut butter scrapers. So y'all be listening. Who will hear me say it? Remember, it goes over the top, making something good even better. So we have this. Now, I use a yellow or a golden butter cake mix. I'm keeping an eye on the time also. So how many of y'all are aware that the cake mix sizes are going down? It's frustrating, isn't it? All of our recipes we've had for decades, actually, it used to be 18 ounces, now 15, and it's about to go to 13. It's very frustrating, but I'll give you a little tip from a test kitchen. If you will add, if they do go down to the 13, and that's what you find, add 1/4 cup of all-purpose, but honestly, you could even do self-rising because it's such a small amount. And that will bring you back up to the volume of the 15 ounce. Now, have y'all seen the Dolly Parton cake mixes? Okay, well, bless her heart, she has stayed with the 18 ounce. So you can go way back to your grandmama's recipe and use the 18 ounce of the Dolly Parton. It costs a little bit more, but if you're like me, you try to get them on BOGO. You know, buy one, get one, and save up. Doesn't everybody have an entire cabinet of cake mixes like I do? It is, you know, different people hoard different things. I can't hardly resist a cake mix on sale. Put them in your freezer and they will last forever. Okay, no mixer needed, right? I put in my recipe, if you will stroke it about 45 times, you'll be done. Now there's a lump right there. I'm just gonna mash it out. Done. That is going to give you a brownie-like texture. Now, this is a 15 by 10 sheet pan, but I also give you directions on how to make it in a 13 by 9. A lot of people just have 13 by 9s. So I'll give you the time on both. So another tip, what I love to do, I'm on Facebook also, Grits and Gouda, Gouda. I try to give you lots of tips. So if you have a dirty dishwasher, you just sprays everywhere, put this over the dirty dishwasher opened or in your sink and spray it, and it won't get on your floor and you won't trip because it's greasy. All right, we are going to put this batter in the pan, putting all my dirties over here, and spread it out, slather it on good. All right, so we're gonna bake this. You're gonna be shocked. How long do y'all think this will bake before it's ready? Give me a number. 20 minutes. 15. 30 minutes. 8. Somewhere in between 13 to 15 minutes because it's a sheet cake. It's shallow. But if you put it into 13 by 9, it takes 19 to 22. But I give you that time because I want you to use what you have. Let's see now. It's baking, right? So we're going to pretend now on the frosting, which I have samples for y'all. Right over here, I have samples of this. The frosting is, come back to that same bowl, wash it out, and you put a stick of butter, and you put a half a cup of peanut butter, and vanilla, and a third of a cup of milk. Microwave it, and then you add either a box, you might think it's 4 cups because it's 16 ounces, but it's 3 3/4 cups. If you notice on the back, it says 15 servings. So and it's important to only use that if you're measuring it out because you'll get thick frosting or super soupy frosting if you don't get the right amount. But again, I put that in my recipe. So I'm going to take these off because I'm finished with the eggs. So you're going to take that frosting and pour it and spread it over here. Now, this recipe went on the blog Thursday. It's my brand new recipe, so you can have it at gritsandgouda.com. And on that picture, you'll see I took chopped peanuts and sprinkled on the top to gild the lily. Ah! I think that lady in the back, yep. Y'all catch on fast. Come on down. And I actually have 2. I think one of these, would you hand that to them too? All right, so that's what we do, and that's the kind of fun we have at our holiday cooking show. And again, we sold a third of the tickets on the first day. Remember, we limited them. We have 3 VIP tickets, which is front row. So go to gritsandgouda.com and check that out. This is another shortcut. If you don't want to sprinkle nuts on the top, you can use crunchy peanut butter in the frosting like this one, and there's peanuts in the frosting on top. That's the way my brain thinks, and that's the way all my recipes are. I'm constantly thinking, how can I get y'all in the kitchen and out faster? If y'all have any questions, I would love to answer them. Yes? No, I don't necessarily have sugar-free recipes because it's not a diet kind of blog, but lots of times there's a section called substitutions and variations on all mine, and if it can be substituted, sometimes I'll put it in there. Oh, and that holiday cooking show is in Gardendale Civic Center. That's where I live. So we're in Gardendale, just down the road. Yes. It is 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock the door opens. We have silent auction. You can order your Chick-fil-A dinner and you can eat your meal there. Panera Bread gives free hot chocolate, coffee, and cookies at intermission. Y'all, it's a lot of fun. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I would love to hear from y'all. If you guys came today, just give me a little shout out. Love y'all. Thank you so much.
Wasn't that wonderful? Now you know why she has her own show.
Oh yeah, samples right over here. Absolutely. We've got it all cut up for you. You don't need a spoon or anything. They're all in little bitty. containers. And I have information about the cooking show and free peanut recipe cards over here. Oh, and my cookbook, Magic Cakes. I didn't even get to tell you about that. I have a cookbook over here. I have a what?
Another little spatula right there.
Oh, well, do you want it? All right, there you go. Love it, love it.
I bet he licked the bowl.
Yes. Life is short, lick the bowl.
All right, as Kathleen wraps up, next up we have Martie Duncan. Martie Duncan, Food Network star, who is from here, has had quite a life, and now is, people ask her all the time to come do shows and events. So she is going to be coming up here in just a few minutes.
Yep.
All right, we've got our next giveaway coming up in just a moment. But in the meantime, let me remind you, if you're a senior adult or have a family member who is a senior adult, be sure to visit the Senior Placement Services and Home Instead exhibits for more resources on dealing with that. Also, if you're looking for learning opportunities for your kids, stop by the Aquatots booth. Check out their fire truck outside to learn about water safety, and be sure to stop and visit with Linda Harper Music. She has a free digital download of some coloring books, so you can go check that out as well. And once again, we still have more giveaways to give away. You know what? Who wants some squishy footballs? We throw you another squishy football? Oh, sorry, I should have called it. I forgot I was left-handed. So there you go. There you go. All right, we'll give away a few more of those in just a minute. But if you haven't finished your bingo card for birthday bingo, I highly suggest you go finish that and get it in the box immediately, because we are giving away more things. Box is right out here by the welcome, folks. Also, my man Kevin Derryberry is going to be back in the back corner playing some more music. Don't forget to go check out his podcast, Seraphic Sound. Pretty great program he does over there. He'll be back sharing more music with us in just a little bit. Okay, let's give away some more stuff. How about it? Once again, our folks that we're still waiting on are for the Sweet Grown Alabama gift bag, core-built coats, a signed cookbook from Grits and Gouda's Kathleen Phillips, Tangelia Marshall. Brenda Martin won the 2 Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen cookbooks, a collection of Southern favorites and Mama Sue's Southern recipes. And Joey Marshy, who won a case of Bud's Best Cookies. Still looking for those folks. But let's move on to the new stuff, shall we? First off, a signed cookbook from Kay Marie, Knocking Out Cancer in the Kitchen, 1 recipe at a time. Porter May. A leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama, Tracy Holmes. Dinner for 2 from Cayo Coco Restaurant. That's an appetizer, 2 entrees, dessert. Tannen Creepo. And a $100 gift card, courtesy of Way FM to Walmart, Macy Phillips. A signed copy of Danna Standridge's cookbook, Happiness is Homemade, y'all. That's Patino. A half Patino? All right. And 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil's Song Blazer tomorrow night at 4:30. That goes to Whitney Max. Moving on to our next giveaways. Children's of Alabama coffee cup and cup holders. Lillian Smith. A signed copy of Martie Duncan's newest cookbook, Sweet Home Alabama Destinations and Dishes Worth the Trip. Tammy Green is our winner on that one. Yay! Oh, Martie says she'll sign it for them. Sweet! 2 tickets to the Birmingham Barons playoff game on Thursday, September 19th. Adita Tran. A $50 gift card to Mark's Outdoors in Vestavia. Thomas Forsythe. And finally, a gift bag from Home Instead, Alan Yates. Are you Alan? Hey, we got a winner for the Home Instead gift bag. All right, if you know any of the people, do it. You're not the only person who said that today. Alan said he normally doesn't win anything. Well, first off, from being here, we're all winners. Yeah. While Martie finishes getting ready, let's throw away some T-shirts. How about it? You're ready? Martie's ready? Well, who wants a small T-shirt? So that's small. Small?
All right, everybody, if Martie Duncan is on the chef stage now, if you're interested in coming and listening to world-renowned chef who's from right here in our area. And I have pie. Martie Duncan became known as a Food Network star a few years ago, and she has just blossomed since then. She has books. She appears with all other kind of well-known chefs as well. And so, Martie, I'll just tell you a little bit. I'm going to take you way back.
Oh, don't go too far back, Janice.
Well, Martie used to, in the 80s, Martie was a police officer.
If I put you in jail, I am so sorry. But I didn't, you know, I never even wrote a whole ticket book full of tickets.
You didn't?
I was a pitiful policeman.
And so how do we get here? Just a quick story as you're setting things up for folks, how you ended up being on the Food Network and being a chef.
I was a content creator for a long time, way before those were,
before it was a thing?
Yeah, before there was even social media. And Microsoft, Microsoft people, asked me if I would host some content for them on MSN.com. I did, but all about parties and entertaining, right? And so then it became very obvious to me very quickly that people were more interested in the recipes than they were anything else. So I started developing the recipes, utilizing my sweet mama's recipes, and then we just kind of went from there. And then I met Guy Fieri. Y'all, who knows who Guy Fieri is? Okay, who doesn't know who Guy Fieri is might be a better question. So I met Guy Fieri in Atlanta at an event. And can I just tell this story real quick? Do you care?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, Janice and I have been friends a long time, so I'm going to get her to help me. She's going to help me cook here in a minute. I'm a bit incapacitated at the moment. Anyway, so I was at this event in Atlanta, and it was my very first big event in 2009. And so it was my very first big event to be cooking and hosting, right? So I had 4 girls with me, and I booked the cheapest hotel I could find. But on the way over, I started thinking, who are we going to meet in that cheap hotel is going to help us do anything? We're not going to meet anybody from the Food Network. We're not going to meet any other people. So I told one of the girls working with me, I said, hey, Caroline, call up that hotel where all the rest of them are staying that costs way too much a night. If they have any rooms left, go ahead and book them. Put on my credit card. Don't tell me how much, right? And so they had rooms. So she booked. We pulled up at 20 minutes later in front of the hotel and started to give the key to the valet when he said it's going to be $29 a day per car. So I'm like, we'll be self-parking. So the guy took my keys, and I went in and paid put the credit card down for all the rooms and everything. And so I come back outside, and my car's locked, my keys aren't there, and the valet's not there. So I'm standing behind the little valet desk, waiting. And the guy comes up and taps me on the shoulder. He said, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Buckhead? I turn around, and it was Guy. And that was the first time I ever met him. And I just said, thank you, God. I mean, I hadn't even been here 20 minutes and we already met somebody good. And so as I talked to him, he goes, well, what's your name? I said, Martie. He said, are you a chef? I said, well, I'm a home cook. I guess some people would call me a chef because I'm a professional, but I don't work at a restaurant. And he goes, well, what do you do? I said, parties. Martie knows parties. He goes, you made that up. I said, I absolutely did not make that up. He made me get out my driver's license and show him my name. And so after that, he goes, I want you to come to my event. I'm hosting a demo. I want you to come. And he said, would you come up on stage with me? I said, sure. I'm not scared. I'll come up. I've been shot at, dragged behind a car, beat up, mace, mugged. I mean, and I grew up with 3 brothers too, so that tells you right there. But I just felt like, well, how can I not do that? So went up on stage with a guy, and afterwards he said, Martie, how come you don't have a show on the Food Network? I said, well, because maybe I don't know how to get a show on the Food Network. Like if I knew how, I would get one. I still don't know how. But he kept saying, I want you to do Food Network Star. And so I would see him once or twice a year. And he would say, did you do it? I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Food Network Star was the competition
That's the
show.
thing. He won to get diners, drive-ins, and dives. He won that show, and then he got his own show. So anyway, every time I'd see him once or twice a year, he would say, are you doing it? Did you do it? I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I am too slow in the kitchen. I cannot do that. So the next thing you know, one night, God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he, y'all? One night I was sitting in and this was years later, like 3 or 4 years later, I was in my house way out in Columbiana, and I was online looking for something, and all of a sudden, you know how these things pop up? This thing pops up and it said, tomorrow's the last day, Food Network Star auditions. I'm like, all right, God, what? I'd never seen that before. And it says, and so I'm like, all right, God, what is that? So I'm just going to look at it. So it was midnight, y'all, midnight in Columbiana, Alabama. So that I look, and it says, the thing is going to end tomorrow. But if you get there by 1 o'clock, you can audition. I'm like, is this it? This is what you want me to do? This is what I'm supposed to do? So y'all don't know this, but I lived in Chicago for a long time. And the only place in the country they were doing this audition the next day was in Chicago. So I looked online to see if I could find a flight. Couldn't find a flight. And guess what? Got my car and drove. I got there at about 12:30, went up, auditioned. They're like, okay, you got it. That fast.
Isn't that fabulous?
That fast. And then I couldn't tell Guy. I couldn't tell anybody. You weren't allowed to tell anybody anything. I called my daddy, and that's like you could tell one person, and that was my one person. And I went away for 4 months. I just became invisible. It made me realize how easy it will be for me to go away and nobody will notice. But yeah, I was gone for 4 months and had to live, you know, in seclusion with the rest of these people doing the show for 4 months. And but when Guy came out for his episode, he does an episode for that show every year, and he walked out, and I saw him, you know, doing his thing and talking, and he looks down the line, he sees me, and he goes, so he's not supposed to know anybody, right? So I'm just standing there like, I don't know you, I never seen you, I have no idea who you are. And so we did the thing, he didn't acknowledge me, didn't speak to me, nothing. But afterwards, when we were walking off the stage, a hand came through a curtain and yanked me behind the curtain. He goes, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. And so he has really been a mentor for me and has helped me for years and years now. I've known him, I don't know, how many years is it now?
And now she's a star in her own right.
I am at my house.
Well, no, you are to us, and with the books coming up, we're going to tell you more about that
and,
coming up too.
Right now, I've competed and won a couple episodes of Guys Grocery Games. And I judge on a show called Beat Bobby Flay. Yeah, so
she's a star.
Well, I'm not one of the famous people that they have sit out front, the hosts on Beat Bobby Flay. I'm the judge. And there's 3 of us, and you do the blind taste testing and all that, and then you got to give your little 2 cents. I'm on for about 30 seconds, maybe.
That's all right. That's all right. You're our star to us. Do y'all see this? Doesn't that look good?
So, y'all, who wants to learn how to make a pie, or who would rather just eat pie? Who wants to learn how to make a pie? Raise your hand. Who wants to eat pie first and then learn how to make a pie? Raise your hand. Let's eat pie first. And then I'm going to give away some of my cookbooks, and they've got some. I made this morning. I haven't sampled it. Should I taste it?
So we're going to
first?
sample this first, then you're going to show us how you did it.
Yeah, yeah.
How about that?
I think it's a good
That's
idea.
a good deal.
Yeah, because this thing's going to end soon, and I talk a lot. So, who likes a really crusty piece? That's my favorite part.
Y'all, come on. I guess go ahead and make your way up, and we'll get this party
They're
started.
little baby pieces. I'm going to just apologize up front because I didn't know how many people. The crunchy pieces for you. Well, take that one right. Uh-oh. I don't have any gloves. Yo, listen, I hope it's good. Maybe I should taste it before I give it to you.
You can give us an instant review, y'all.
Yes, because it's very hard to eat a pie and then serve it, right? I washed mine right before I came in here. And then I'd use some, what is that stuff? Sanitizer. Okay. The ends on this, because I didn't want to use a pie pan, thank you, Janice.
I want to know everything you know, ma'am.
You want to know everything I know? About pie? About biscuits? About cooking? Okay, I'll tell you, I learned from my mother. So my mother, y'all, has been gone for 20 years now. And when I was a kid, I really didn't care one thing about cooking. I wanted to play ball and run out around the neighborhood and, all the things that kids want to do.
You got one coming, baby.
Hang on. I'm slow this morning.
Here you go, sweetheart. All right, be careful. Don't listen. You got it?
This one has a lot of crust, so I'm going to give that person a little bit of...
I'm delivering.
Okay. Look, we're going to have plenty, so I'm going to give... Okay, is anybody, is it any good?
What do y'all think?
Is it all right? It's not good? It's no good? It's good. I see one person said it was good.
We're not talking.
2, it's great. That's my guy right there. It's great. All right, thank you. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear good. I got more. They're over there in that bag, in one of those bags. I just threw them in there.
Thank you.
This one's got a little bit more crust. That's an edge. The edges are the best, right? I'm more of a crust person than the apple person. I'd rather just eat the apple by itself and just eat the crust. This one's like all crust. I'm going to save that for me. All right, we're going to cut this other one up in a few minutes.
We'll just finish this one out.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that.
Yeah, this one maybe have a bite of apple. It's not much.
Anybody else want to
If you're a crust person, you're in luck.
Who wants to sample the apple pie from Martie Duncan? Come on over.
That's good. Who said it wasn't good? You said it wasn't good?
Your fabulous apple pie. I like the apples. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of sugar.
Thank you. That looks delicious.
That's a lot of, okay. It's not as crispy as it normally is. That crust is usually real flaky, but it's damp outside. So, all right. So,
again, can you imagine this warm, though, out of the oven?
Yeah, I mean, that's where, I didn't have an oven here, but, all right, we're going to pretend like we're doing stuff. All right, so that crust is a homemade crust, and it's my mother's recipe, and I learned it from her a long time ago. And I'm about to get out a food processor, but you do not have to have a food processor to make this. Who uses store-bought pie crust? Okay, I'm about to teach you how to make a pie crust, and you're never going to make I will tell you this, if you are making a pecan pie, go ahead and use a store-bought pie crust. If you're doing any kind of fruit pie, chicken pot pie, apple turnovers, peach turnovers, cobbler, unless you like that kind of cobbler that's kind of like a wet dough cobbler. I like crust cobbler. Who likes kind of wet dough cobbler? You know, that kind that's kind of just, they just put stuff on the top. It's kind of, I don't even know what you call that. Kind of like biscuit dough, wet biscuit dough. But who prefers crust? Everybody. My mother made a double crust cobbler at least once a week, but sometimes twice a week. So that's how I learned to make it. Y'all, my mama grew up in children's home down in Troy, Alabama. She was an orphan at the age of 3 and lived there until she was 19, but she learned to cook there. And she had to cook, they cooked 3 meals a day. And so everything she learned from the ladies down in Troy about cooking, she taught me. But this is her rolling pin. I like to take it even if I don't use it. Because I know if she's here, she'd want to go. She'd want to come with me. So I always bring it. Even though I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. All right, I want to show you a couple tools real quick that I just can't live without. One is a bench scraper. Who's got a bench scraper in their kitchen? Who does not have a bench scraper in their kitchen? Come get one of these. These are plastic ones. If you don't have one, come get, I only have two. So the first two people get one. Oh, here.
Thank you.
Sorry. But hey, excuse me, do you have a pastry brush? Come get that one. Okay, so two things I think are important: pastry brush, bench scraper, offset spatula, and a good knife. Yeah, I go to my friends' houses sometimes, and their knives are not sharp. It's dangerous to have a non-sharp knife. Cut your hand off with that thing, okay? So make sure, going forward, get your knife sharpened. There are places around town where you can go. Our best knife sharpener just moved away, though. All right. Y'all can see I'm a bit slow because I had a hip replacement surgery. Has anybody ever had one? No? Well, it wasn't the most fun thing in the world, and they didn't do mine right. So I'm struggling to get better. But this is my first event since I had it done. So anyway, you do not have to use a food processor to make this crust. I do because it's easy. But my mama didn't have a food processor, and she made it every day. All right. Thank you. I saw that. All right. So this crust is so easy. Now, one thing about home cooks, some of us don't measure. Some of us measure, but we measure with household measurements. I want to warn you about something when you're looking at recipes online or somebody's recipe in a book or whatever. You need to make sure that you don't pack down flour, pack down sugar, because if you do, your recipe's going to be off. If you pack the flour down in this recipe, your dough would probably be not tough, but it just would be a bit dry because there's only one stick of butter in this pie crust. All right, so I'm going to show you how I do this. And like I said, my mother did not have a food processor. You can do this with forks. You can do it with a pastry cutter. Do y'all know what that is? Pastry cutter? If you don't have either one of those two forks can work. It's not hard, but this just makes it go a lot faster. And then we can get back to giving away stuff and talking about pie and eating more pie. How about that? Yeah? All right, hang on. You see me struggling to walk. I might get better one of these days, and I might not. All right, so one thing that I just about killed myself with that, didn't I? Stepped on it. One thing I want to do first is to do a little prep. And I'm probably not in the right place for this, am I? Mr. Cameraman, I'm so sorry. Am I good? Okay, look, plastic wrap. This is your friend when you want to make a pie crust. I put it down on my countertop. And I'm pretending this is my countertop. So, you know how, all right, so there's our piece of plastic wrap. Step over this way a little bit, all right. Where are they seeing me? Oh, on a monitor.
And online.
Okay, and online, okay. Are we good? All right. So what kind of apples do you like for apple pie? Granny Smith? Red Delicious are not good for apple pie. These are Honey Crisp. Who wants a Honey Crisp apple? Come get one. I like to give away stuff. I'd throw it, but I'd be afraid I'd hit you with it and then you'd have a headache. I was a softball player for a long time. I can throw it pretty hard. Thank you. I'm not throwing it out there. Okay, I'm going to throw it underhand, but I don't hit this guy in the head. Hey, catch it if it come close. I'm going to hit him. No way, come here. I don't want to hit anybody in the head. Here you go. Yeah, I'm a chicken. All right, I got my plastic wrap down, and I'm going to just get going here so we can do this really quick. So this is super cold butter. I put it in the freezer It's been in my car for a little bit, so it's probably not that super cold right now. All right, here we go. One. Cut it into about 8 pieces. That's like 8 tablespoons, okay? And then it needs to be as cold as you can get it. Okay, we're starting out with, and y'all, this recipe is online. Now watch how I do this. So I like to have a light flour. So I go ahead and toss it around a little bit. Then tap it down lightly and then level it off. And that way I have a cup of flour. Don't make it too heavy. So it's 1 cup and 3 tablespoons of flour. Then on the tablespoons, it really doesn't matter too much, but they need to be level. All right, so that's 1 cup, 3 tablespoons of flour, and then 2 tablespoons sugar. You do not have to put any sugar in this. If you're using it for chicken pot pie or something, don't put sugar in it. And honestly, you don't even really have to put sugar in it now. If you're people who don't like sugar, that pie crust is just as good without it. But because I never know what people are going to like, I always add just a little bit. So I put 2 tablespoons of sugar and then a pinch of salt, which is about 1/4 of a... Now, recipe's on my website, so you don't have to worry about... Teach you how to make the whole pie and everything. All right, so we're going to blend that together real quick. Now, y'all have ever used a food processor and didn't put the lid on good? It goes everywhere. So turn this on. And let's let it run for a second, mix all those ingredients together. All we got in here is all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, salt. All right, so that's blended together pretty well. Now we're gonna start adding in the butter, 2 tablespoons at a time. And then we're gonna pulse, you know, because we don't want the heat from the blade to melt the butter. We want that to stay cold. So it's pulse, pulse, 10 times. 10 pulses, and we're gonna add 2 more. 10 pulses, and then 2 more, or not. 1, 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 2 more. So you can see I'm not doing much. I want those butter shards to be pretty big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we need some cold water, and I mean ice cold. So we're gonna put in 4 tablespoons water, but we're gonna turn this on run. And when it all comes together in a ball, you're done. That's it, that's pie crust. So hang on. All right, I'm gonna get one ready to go, and then I'm gonna turn it on. And just let it run. 1, 2. Y'all can count. I don't need to count for you, do I? Okay. And on the last one, I like to let it mix for just a second, and then just do a little bits at a time so that dough can come together in a ball. There it goes. Done. Now, y'all have just made pie crust. That's how easy it is. Now, if you don't have a food processor, do it in a bowl. Now you're going to need a little bit of flour, not too much, but a little bit of light dusting of flour. We call this bench flour in the professional chef world. I'm not a professional chef, but that's what they call it. I guess I am a professional chef, aren't I? I mean, it's kind of what I do for my job, so. All right. All right, here we go. So, you know to be really super careful with the blade of this thing because it's very sharp. Where am I going to put that? Right there. All right. And if you could see this, you would see there are big pieces of butter in this dough. And that's what you want. It's just kind of like making biscuits. When you make a biscuit, you want to be able to see the butter when you roll it out. And it's the same with the pie crust. Now, if I'm going to fry apple pies or peach pies rather than bake them, which I mostly bake them these days, but if I am going to do that, I don't use butter in my dough. I use Crisco or something like that, which is, I don't do that very often. Anyway, don't want to leave that guy behind. All right. Anybody got any questions so far? No questions. Good. All right, so we've made pie crust. Now all we got to do before we use it is put it in the refrigerator and let it chill for at least an hour. You can put it in the freezer and you can do it for 20 minutes. All right, but as y'all can see, I got a little bit of dough on my hands. I'm going to shape it. I want you to, when you make this, I want you to shape it in the form of whatever you're using. If you're using a square, make this a square. If you're going to make it round, make it round. All right? So look, I patted it out into a round. I'm going to take this, got a little bit of extra flour, and that's not a bad thing, but we don't want too much. So I'm going to roll this up in the plastic, put it in the refrigerator for an hour. Now, if I was smart, I would have made an extra one of these and had it frozen, wouldn't I? But I didn't. But so I'm going to pretend like this has been in my refrigerator for an hour, okay? All right? Everybody all right with that? It's been oh, you know what we can do? We can give away some books. And I do have a block of frozen, you know, those blocks of ice thing that you put in a cooler. I got one of those. Let's put it on. Let's get a little bit cold because it's going to roll out. I'll just warn you right now. Any pie crust or dough you make is going to roll out better and handle better if it's cold. So here's my refrigerator. I'm going to put this, I've got a block of ice in there. So I'm going to put that in the refrigerator for a couple minutes. And then while we do that, I'm going to see, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Nobody. Y'all don't want to know anything? Don't care. Where'd I grow up? Okay, thank you. I grew up in Roebuck. Anybody else from Roebuck? Southeast Lake. I went to Banks High School. It's not even a school anymore. But back in the day, man, it was awesome. We won the state championship a few times. It was good. It was good. I liked East Lake and Roebuck. Went to East Lake Methodist Church, Banks High School, Southeast Lake Elementary. So I'm from here, and I still live here. I could live anywhere, but I choose to live here. And people always say, why do you want to live in Alabama? I'm like, I want to live in Alabama because the people are nice here. All right, yes, ma'am. How? Okay, you want me to tell you how did I end up in Chicago? Do you want me to tell you the truth or you want me to tell you a fib? Tell you the truth? Well, okay, well, I got a divorce. And I got tired of people asking me, you think y'all get back together? You remember when we did, y'all? And I just didn't want, I really just wanted to go somewhere else for a minute. And I had gone to Chicago for work, and I really liked it. And I thought, I'm just going to go there. So I lived there in New York and Dubai and some other, I've lived a lot of places, but I've done a lot of stuff.
Wait a minute, you lived in Dubai?
I did.
All right, needs a story.
I had a business in Dubai for a while. Okay, I know this is not going to make much sense to anybody, but I will just tell you. So when I was getting a divorce, well, God sent me polo on the horse. Yeah. Okay, I loved horses growing up and I liked sports, like I told you. Well, I always begged my daddy every day, Daddy, I want a pony, Daddy, I want a pony, I want a pony. And he would like, we're not getting a pony. We're not getting a pony. Just get over it. And I'd write him these long letters about how I want a pony. Well, when I got a divorce, I got asked to do this event, and it was for the American Diabetes Association. And I'm like, well, what is it? And they were like, well, it's a polo event. And I said, do we have to go to England? Because that's the only polo I ever heard of. And they're like, no, it's right down there in Shelby County. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I went, and I wanted to see what it was all about, and I went and watched them practice and stuff like that. And I thought, oh God, I really want a pony. Daddy, I'm so mad. I was mad at my dad. Dad, I really want a horse. I really want a horse. Well, guess what? We did so well that event, we raised $80,000. And one of the men who was a polo player called me at my office on that Monday morning. He goes, we're so impressed with what you did with this event. Two things. My wife and I would like to give you a check for $10,000 for your charity. Second thing is, can you come to Jackson, Mississippi this weekend? We're doing an event here, and we want you to give us some feedback on how we can make ours as good as yours. Also, we want you to bring a truck and a trailer because I want to send you home with 2 horses. Yeah. He said, we think you'd be good for polo, and we want you to be part of it. Yeah, and I've got more too. And we'll cut into this one in a minute. I'm going to get some pictures first. So anyway, so I got the 2 horses. It absorbed all my thoughts, so I was not upset or sad about being, starting over, getting a divorce and all that. The horses just take your mind away from everything. So then when I moved to Chicago, I thought, well, that's it for the polo. I can't even afford a house, much less a horse. So I left them here. Well, one day this guy calls me on the phone. He goes, I understand you know how to play polo. I said, oh, I played for like a month. I mean, I wouldn't say I know how. He said, well, we want you to play here in Chicago. We heard you about you, and we'd like for you to throw the parties at our club and come play polo here. I'm like, okay. So anyway, I only tell you that part because that's how I got to Dubai. So when I was playing in Chicago, this professional polo player would come watch me sometimes, and he would say, you could be really good, you just need to play more. I'm like, well, that's kind of hard. We have a full-time job, and this is an hour from my house. So, I get off at work at 6. By the time I get here, he goes, you should go to Argentina where you can learn from professionals and train. I'm like, yeah, well, how much does that cost? Well, it didn't cost very much, as it turns out. So the next thing you know, get on a plane, fly to Argentina, start playing polo, and all of a sudden, I meet these people from Dubai. Yeah. And so then the guy says, what do you do for your job? I said, I'm in the wedding business. And he said, I have a wedding business. I'm thinking, he's just trying to abduct me or something. Because, you hear all those stories. Well, guess what? He did have a wedding business. He sent me a ticket. He flew me to Dubai. We started a business there. And I kept it until I sold out, about 6 or 7 years later. So that's how I got to Dubai.
That is crazy.
I know.
Only you, Martie.
I know, but it's just, I don't even know how these things happen, but yes, I do. Thank you, God. Because he sends me the things I need and takes care of me every day. That's why when Elaine asked me to do this event, I felt like I had something to say. Otherwise, I'd probably still be at home. But I did feel like I've been very blessed and I've been extremely blessed. First, I was adopted. And right before my dad died, he told me, he said, when they tried for 10 years to get a kid, and they couldn't get a kid, right? And so one day they called my daddy at his work, and they said, listen, we got a kid for you. It's a girl. She has brown hair, brown eyes, like you asked. But 2 people have already turned this baby down because she has an imperfection. My dad said, well, we're going to come anyway. So they got there, and my dad said, wrap it up. Take her. Wrap it. We're going. This one's coming on. And I said, Daddy, what was the imperfection? He goes, I don't remember. I don't even remember. I know. So God has always watched out for me and taken care of me. Brought me some good mom and daddy, and couldn't have asked for better. And I've just been extremely lucky. So that's why I wanted to come and do this today, because I felt like what they're doing here is important.
Thank you, Martie. She's amazing, isn't she? All right, Martie's probably going to hate me for doing this.
No,
but,
I'm not. I got to get my pie crust out of the refrigerator.
You get your pie crust.
Let me get my pie crust out of the refrigerator. Hang on a minute.
So y'all, I know that y'all probably people of faith, right? That's what this is sponsored by. Martie talked about that she had a surgery that did not go well.
Yes.
And she's in pain right now. And because the surgery did not go right. And so she's struggling through some health things but you'd never know it because of who she is. So just collectively, if y'all would, say a prayer for Martie.
Thank you.
And that the doctors will figure out how to alleviate that pain for her. I know she really would appreciate it.
Yes, I would.
She's going to laugh her way through it, though, aren't you?
Well, the thing about it is, it's just one of those things. It was not a good situation. It was, let's just put it this way. When the doctor goes, oh my gosh, we've heard of this, but we've never seen it. So that's not good, is it? But, it's going to take a while. Well, I'm going to get there, but hey, I'll take any prayers I can get, Janice. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We all need prayers, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Especially these days. And I'd appreciate it. Now, I don't normally roll my pie crust out with a plastic wrap over the top, but y'all, it's not cold because my refrigerator's not on the blink. It's not working that good. I think that thing is already, thawed out. So I'm going to do this in a way that I hope won't stick or anything, but I'm going to show, I don't even have to roll it out because you know how to roll out a pie crust, but I do want to show you something that I think is important. A lot of people ask me this question, that's why. So you see I'm putting a little bit more flour on this because I don't want it to stick. All right, so, and whoever owns this tablecloth, I'm going to apologize in advance. All right, so let me get my tray ready. Hang on a minute. By the way, if you ever need a really great wedding gift, this is one. I was given this in 1986, and the man and wife who gave it to me, he engraved on the back of it with one of those little engraving pens, and it is one of my most precious things, because both of them are gone now. Anyway, these are great. Get the really nice heavy one, the good one. It's a nice wedding gift, or a good gift for anybody, really. So to bake this, I just put down some parchment paper. So I've cut my finger off of this so many times. They say non-curling. Watch this. Yeah, that's non-curling all right. Anyway, that's not going to be a great sheet, but we're going to. And do you know how you keep that from rolling around and moving around? Just put some butter. Take your butter, and then press that down and it'll stick to it. All right, so I've got my, let's just pretend I'm not using a piece of plastic wrap, but I just don't want it to stick because it is not cold. My mother never chilled anything. She just whacked that thing out and next thing you know it would be. But this is a good little trick because sometimes, especially if it's not cold, when you try to transfer it to your pan, your pie pan, or I don't use a pie pan for this. I just freeform it. You'll see when you go to my website and look at the recipe, it's just a freeform. Because sometimes you go to a party and you don't want to have to worry about bringing your pie pan back home, and sometimes they don't eat everything. So anyway, we're just going to pretend that I've rolled this out better, and I'm just going to show you. So to transfer it, this is just that, and I wish you could see how pretty this is because you can see all the butter in this dough. Nothing better than butter. All right, so here's how I do it. I take the plastic wrap and I will just drape it over. So I pull the pie crust onto my rolling pin. See? Then I take it. You get down. And now I'm going to put it on my, oh, that is not what I'm going to do. But it's so slippery because it's not cold. Let me try it again. Hang on. Get back. All right, you know what my real superpower is, y'all? Anybody want to know? Can y'all guess? What is my superpower? Riding a horse? No. I mean, I can, but that's not my real superpower. I know the words to every song that ever was. You can, I mean, if it was popular, now I'm not saying, don't give me the B track to some, okay, see how I do it? I'm going to put my hand here this time so it doesn't slide off. I just lay it down like that, and it rolls right onto the thing, and then I pull the pump, and then it's on there. So it's slippery. All right, so that's how I do it. All right, so if you can stump me, but don't, I mean, it has to be something that was reasonably popular and reasonably popular in my era, not in your era, but reasonably popular, let's say 60s, 70s. I don't really like the 80s that much. I got married, got divorced, moved. Wasn't the greatest time for me. Let's say, okay, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and let's just put that window on it. If you beat me, and it has to be something that was popular, it cannot be a song that was not popular. If I don't know the words, or at least some of the words, maybe even the artist, you win a cookbook. And I got 3 to give away.
Here we go.
All right, but don't make it hard. It's got to be popular. It can't be the D side.
Buddy Holly.
No, but I mean.
Maybe Baby.
Maybe baby, I'll be true. Maybe baby. Right? Did I get it?
Da-da-da.
Okay.
No.
What? Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Oh, that's a hard song to sing, But I know who. Yes, but I'm not going to sing it very good. That's not a good girl singing song. But I know that song. I mean, I don't remember but I do know it. But I can't sing it for sure.
He also did Love Me Like a Rock.
Love Me Like a Rock?
He also did Love Is Like a Rock.
Oh, yes.
Solid.
Yes.
Love Is Like a Rock.
Let him sing. Okay, you beat me then. That one I don't know. Which one do you want? You can have Alabama Cravings, Magic City Cravings, or Destination Dishes. This was my second book, third book, most recent book. And I'm working on a new book right now.
Surprise me. I love the book.
Are you from Birmingham?
Alabama.
Did you grow up here?
Alabaster, but I grew up in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh. Well, Magic City Cravings.
I met my wife here.
Okay. Well, how long have you been here?
11 years.
Okay. You're going to get this one.
Almost 20 years.
I'll sign it for you as soon as we're done. Okay?
All right, next one.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people.
He says, I go to pieces.
Oh, Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
All right. One.
No, not.
I
go to pieces.
Oh, I go to pieces.
Peter Gordon, he says.
Okay. That's not a known song, mister. But I'll let you win anyway. Which one? Was it a top 10? What year was Peter Gordon? What year?
66 or 5.
I was too busy with the Beatles.
But
Okay,
you
which one do you want? I'll sign it afterwards. This one has been out of print for 4 years, and I just got copies. People are paying $100 a piece for this on eBay. $100. So I reprinted it. You want this one or that one? Okay. That one's got a Gone But Not Forgotten section in it with places like Pioneer Cafeteria and Joy Young and all those places from back in the day that are gone. All right. We got one more. Anybody else?
Anybody?
Anybody else got one?
Come on.
These ladies do back in the back.
They're thinking. Okay.
A song from the Elvis Presley 78 comeback special.
Well, I mean, I didn't see that, but I mean, if you give me the name of the song, I can sing it. Huh? Or you sing it and I'll tell you the name of the song. One or the other.
So it was in the comeback special when he wore the black?
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, was it the trilogy, one of those? Didn't he do that in the comeback special? It was the trilogy was in it? Oh. Am I right? What song were you talking about? Okay.
She was saying pick a song, so.
Oh, off that. I didn't see that, but I know he did the trilogy on that because I've seen it, and I think he did How Great Thou Art too, didn't he? How Great Thou Art. Okay, yeah, but I can do a pretty good Elvis, but like Suspicious Minds. Yeah? We can't go on together with suspicion. Okay, anybody else? Got one more book. One more book.
Joan Jett, I love rock and roll.
Oh, come on now. That's just, you already just gave me all the words right there. I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Okay, another one? One more. Still got one book left to give away. I'm hard to beat. You know, this is what I do when I'm working on these cookbooks. It's usually about 5,000 miles around the state. And a lot of time I'm by myself. So I play Name That Tune against myself with Sirius XM. So I turn it on, and then I don't look at it, and then I have to guess it in 2 seconds, and then I get a point if I guess the name of the song. And if I guess the name of the artist, I get 2 more points. But if I miss one, I might lose all the points. Okay.
Ass by Stevie Wonder.
What? Which?
Ass.
Ask.
A-S.
As. Overjoyed. Is that it? No. Okay. Sing it then. Which one?
Do. As. Okay.
I was pretty close.
overjoyed. You're overjoyed, yeah.
I like that song.
Looks like you get a
I
book.
like all Stevie Wonder songs. Come on. All right. Anybody else got one? I got more books in the back. Is it time? All right. I've made a big mess up here. Okay. What's that? I don't know that one either, ma'am. Elvis's Hawaiian Wedding Song. I think I would call that one slightly obscure. But does anybody know Elvis's Hawaiian Wedding Song? You know it? Blue Hawaii? No. That's an Elvis fan up there, right here. She's an Elvis fan. All right. Well, we'll get you a book because I don't know what it is. But I know a bunch of Elvis songs, but apparently I don't know the right Elvis songs. All right. Anybody have any questions for me? Would anybody like to buy a book if you didn't win one? We just about gave everybody something, didn't we? But if you'd like to buy a book, I have some back here. I'm happy to personalize them, get them for Christmas gifts. You can make them out to my sweet friend Bob, who likes to. These books are to promote our locally owned restaurants. The state tourism director asked me to go out on the road, use my little bit of celebrity to help promote the locally owned places, because a lot of times we don't think of them first, we think of the big chains first. And so this will be my 5th cookbook, but they're all recipes from restaurants that you know, love, or want to go to. And the new one will come out hopefully December 1st, maybe a little bit before, if I go home and start writing. But it's really fun to do this. I get to know all the chefs and all the restaurant owners. And if you've got any requests, I maybe have one more slot in the book. So it's, really great restaurants from all over the state of Alabama. Have any of y'all ever seen the 100 Dishes list, the brochure that's the 100 Dishes to Eat in Alabama Before You Die? A lot of those places will be in the book, in the new book. Anyway, my mother made me. I grew up in a house with 3 brothers, and my mother made me help her cook.
I've cooked for about 35 years, and her family, I love to do it. I love to experiment.
Do you? I don't like to experiment because I want to make sure it's going to work. I don't want to do all that and not. I'm scared of experimenting. Although when I did Food Network Star, they said don't make stuff you make all the time. So I experimented with a lot of dishes on that, and thank
What
goodness.
was the one they liked the most when you did Food Network Star?
I had to do, so one of those challenges, I think there were like 14 challenges, and one of them was we had to come out and do something like this, right? With 300 people and all the judges. And so they had you make your dish, whatever you wanted to make. For some reason, I don't even know why I did this, because it's not like something I do all the time. Because we were in Florida, I decided to make fish, I was going to try to say it in French, fish en papillote, where they use parchment paper to cook the fish. And so I was going to do that because for a party, fish is hard to do, but if you cook it in that everybody gets their own little pouch, and it's kind of impressive and fun. So I did that. And so they had us come out. You just scared me. I just saw is that a lion or a tiger or what is it? I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's scary. It's a scary tiger. Is it a tiger? Cheetah. Listen, you can outrun me for sure. I'm on a cane, man. Listen, if it was a regular cat, I'd be scared. I'm scared of cats. I'm scared of them. I'm a scaredy cat. I'm scared of cats. That's the first time I've admitted that in public. I am scared of cats. I am. My brother had one that attacked me one time, and ever since then I've run away from him.
That makes sense.
Yeah, one time, okay, y'all want to hear something really funny, just really quick? I know this is a bit off topic. One time, I was doing an event down at the Gulf last year, and last November, and I have a friend down there who's a great biscuit maker and roll maker. Her recipes are in my books. She's going to be in the new book at Buzzcats in Orange Beach. Has anybody ever been there?
Anyway, she makes great biscuits and great cinnamon rolls. And she always makes me a special latte. She calls it a Kimmy latte. Her name is Kim. She makes me a Kimmy latte. So before I drove home, I'm gonna swing by and get a Kimmy latte and a cinnamon roll. So I go in and I got on flip-flops and I'm kind of trudging in on Sunday morning before I drive home and get my Kimmy latte and my cinnamon roll, and I walk out and there's a squirrel on a table that's out there where people eat, right? But there's nobody out there because it had been raining, so it's just the squirrel. So I walk past it and I'm like, all right. It jumps down and it starts following me. I'm like, get away, get away. I'm trying to make shoo it off and it won't shoo. And it comes up and it gets in front of me and it goes, and he hisses at me. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm trying to get something out of my pocket to throw at it, but I got my latte and my cinnamon roll. And that was before I had my surgery, and I was really pitiful. I was trying to get away from it, and it was chasing me around the parking lot. And so then I'm like, I'm just getting to my car. Well, it got up in the wheel well of my car, and it was hissing at me. I couldn't.
What is wrong with the squirrel?
It was possessed. It wanted the cinnamon roll. So anyway, it wanted the cinnamon roll because people feed them. So when I came out and I got the thing and it wanted that bag, and I'm like, I'm not dropping the bag. You can forget it. I came all the way over here to get the cinnamon roll. It's going home with me. Forget it. Anyway, so it was hissing at me. So I ran around the parking lot for at least 5 minutes trying to get away from it. And then I got close to the door and I ran in the building. I'm like, somebody come help me. There's a squirrel out here trying to kill me. And they're like, that's not possible. I said, yes, there's a squirrel out here trying to kill me. So a man says, I'll help you. I'm like, all right then. So we open the door and it's sitting on the rail by the door. And he goes, he slammed the door. He goes, there's a crazy squirrel out here. So another man came, they had a broom, and they kind of shoot it off, and I was able to get in my car. But I called my friend on the phone. I'm like, man, you got a crazy squirrel out in your parking lot. She's trying to kill me. She goes, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, okay, look at your security camera. She called me back, and she was dying laughing. She goes, we're closing. I said, why? She goes, my entire staff is dead after watching that. They have laughed so hard. She goes, oh my God. So then she posted on social media, that squirrel chasing me around the parking lot. So it's a real thing. And you know what song they use for the backing track? Wooly Bully. Perfect, right? Some of y'all won't know what Wooly Bully is. You're too young, like you. But these people down here know what it is. All right, anybody got any questions? Anybody else want another piece of pie? MartieDuncan.com. And the pie recipe's on there. Just Google apple and you'll see it. But it's super easy. It tells you how to do the whole thing. This is doubled because this pan was big. So this is single and this is doubled. Anybody else want pie before we call it a day? Am I out of time? Is it time? You want pie? You got it, buddy. What's your name? Devin? Trevor? Trevor, I'm Martie. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Anybody got any questions? What time is it? Oh, we got 7 whole minutes. We're gonna do what? Okay, so I'll shut up. They'll announce the winners. And if anybody wants to buy a book or talk to me or ask me another question, I'm gonna go right here. So, and then hopefully, if you want a book just now and you want it signed, come over there and I'll sign it for you. And should I put this pie out or not? Nobody else wants pie? Anybody? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So,
all right, everybody, big round of applause for Martie Duncan. Is she not a treasure? Love you, Martie.
Love you back. Hey, lunch. We've only been talking about it for 10 years.
We'll have lunch soon.
No, we won't, but we always talk about it. We've talked about it for 10 years.
You know I love you.
Show it up at your house.
Hey, y'all, thank you for letting me be a part of this today. It's been really fun. Thank you so much.
All right, gang, we have got so many things to give away. So, are you ready? Who said they were ready? You ready? Okay. All right, here we go. I've got my list, and we are good to go. Here we go. Let me start with, wait, hang on. Well, okay. We got so many things. Okay. The signed cookbook from Kay Marie, Knocking Out Cancer in the Kitchen, one recipe at a time, Porter May. One leather portfolio from Children's of Alabama, Tracy Holmes. Dinner for two from Cayo Coco, Danny Burns. $100 Walmart gift card, courtesy of Way FM, Macy Phillips. Signed copy of Danna Standridge's cookbook, Happiness is Homemade, y'all. That's Heath Patino. 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil Song Blazers. That's for tomorrow night's 4:30 performance. Whitney Max. 1 Sweet Grown Alabama gift bag from Colbert Colts. A signed cookbook from Grits and Gouda's Kathleen Phillips, Magic Cakes. Tangelia Marshall. 2 Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen cookbooks. That's Brenda Martin. 1 case of Bud's Best Cookies, Joey Marshy. A Children's of Alabama coffee cup and cup holders, Lillian Smith. A signed copy of Martie Duncan's newest cookbook, Sweet Home Alabama, Destinations and Dishes Worth the Trip, goes to Tammy Green. A $50 gift card to Mark's Outdoors in Vestavia, Thomas Forsyth. A $50 gift card to Aquascapes on Highway 280, Leah Shirley. 2 Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen cookbooks. That's Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen and Mama Sue's Southern Kitchen Simply Salads. Goes to Robert Truelove. A signed copy of Martie Duncan's Magic City Cravings Then and Now book, Jamie Sprayberry. $50 Publix gift card from Alabama Credit Union, Yvonne Alicia. A Cairo gift bag goes to Denise Costin. A signed copy of Martie Duncan's beautiful cookbook, Alabama Cravings, Barry Hayes. A case of Bud's Best Cookies, Idly Ina. Denise Costin was... Hang on. Yeah, it was the Cairo gift bag. Okay. 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil tomorrow night, 4:30. Marissa Mayfield. They are. You just hang them from the rafters. They can, they can go anywhere. A $50 Publix gift card from Alabama Credit Union, Nicholas Barnes. I'm sorry? His girlfriend? All right. And finally, a $100 gift card to Walmart, Petra Sprink.